Welcome to Plat Chat, episode something. 241? That's it. Episode 241. I'm Reinforce. I'm here with Avast, Jaws, and our Korea correspondent, AVRL, live from...
No one's cheering for you, bro.
Seoul.
Why are they not cheering for me?
In a room.
They're cheering for AVRL. Look at him.
Fuck AVRL. Fuck AVRL. Bro didn't show up to the last episode.
That's the thing. You're right. You just ruined it.
No.
Boot him off the podcast. Boot him off the podcast.
No.
again.
I want to hear Kevin's explanation.
Connor said, I'm not even going to. Connor said, is AVRL even going to show up this week? I'm like, oh, baby, I'm going to show up. You have no clue how badly I'm going to show the fuck. Look at where I am. This is my fucking hotel room. This is how hard I'm showing up. That's how hard I'm showing up.
He's on a phone, by the way.
Oh my god.
I'm
so didn't show up for the last one.
Didn't show up for the last one.
Didn't show up for the last one.
To be fair, yeah, I worked, dude. It's 8 a.m. I could have slept in. I could have kept sleeping, but I'm here. It's like I wasn't here last time, and I was like, yeah, I'll fucking be here this time. That's for sure. That's for sure. 8 a.m. in my hotel room, drinking. What is this? Some Korean protein shake thing that I got last night. Yeah.
Caramel protein shake? Well, that might go crazy.
In the morning.
You do.
That's how I start my morning, guys.
Yeah, what's it called? The protein synthesis. You know, 30 grams of protein in the morning gets your metabolism going.
I've been running.
You are so podcast pilled, Johnny. Yeah, I know you're listening to this stuff on like 4 white guys on a podcast talking about. I just bioshocked my body. I'm getting cold baths. I'm ingesting like aloe vera and kelp to make sure my proton inhibitors are firing. Like, I know you're so podcast kill. One of your podcasts are probably in the top 5, right underneath the Hawk Tua podcast, the Talk Tua, 100%.
Which is like ranked 2 podcast right now.
It's like 4. It's like 3 or 4.
The top 5 podcasts. I can't stand the Huberman or whatever. So I actually can't do that. I actually can't do that.
So you're finding the more underground podcasters.
This is how you know if he's podcast build. Johnny, have you bought a subscription to AG1?
I have.
I did it like a couple of years ago. Yeah.
What is AG1? What is AG1?
It's like the
green drink.
Connor, you are lying. You know everyone. There's no way.
Athletic
There's no way.
I don't know what do you mean you don't? There's no way. I don't listen to podcasts, man. I don't listen to podcasts.
Do you know what athletic greens are?
Do I know what
athletic greens?
I know what athletic greens are. Yes.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the rebrand.
AG1. That's what they call it. Yeah.
Athletic
greens one.
Okay. Well, why are we calling it AG? So they're just want to be
the rebrand.
I see. They're more market synergy.
More podcast heavy.
We're just showing you how OG. We're just showing you. Johnny and I are so original. We're so back in the day. Listen to the original Hawk Tour season 0. You know, that's how we know what AG1
came out.
Dude, did you see, by the way, that they're bringing that DreamHack is gonna have Haley Welch there at DreamHack Atlanta?
Yeah, I saw that announcement.
That kick is bringing Haley Welch. She's the Hawk Tour girl. She's the Hawk Tour girl. The Hawk Tour girl is going to DreamHack Atlanta because Kick is sponsoring. They have like a booth there, or they're sponsoring the event. So Kick is bringing her out for like a meet and greet.
That is crazy.
So she's gotta be there. It's like, which I mean, it makes sense because in the newest episode of the Talk to a podcast, she talked about a lot about how she preferred the 5v5 format change for Overwatch 2.
Yeah, I bet she did.
And she also talked a lot about how she thought, missing some of the IP, some of those continuing IPs were a fumble from the Blizzard franchise. So I think I think this is a perfect place for her to be. I think that's where she needs to be 100%.
You know she's a Houston Outlaws fan as well.
Yeah, she loves Houston Outlaws.
She loves Houston Outlaws.
She was in the Blizzard Arena crowd, just going crazy.
You gotta Hawk 2 and take a tank out of that thing. That's what we do. That's what we do, right? That's how it goes, huh?
That's a good one.
I hate that. Yeah, I hate that.
He saved that one up from last episode. That's why he didn't come out. He was too busy writing.
It took me a whole week to write that.
He was at the drawing board. Bro was like, just what's that one like GIF where the guy's riding and the pin catches on fire?
Oh,
like,
Death Note.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that one. No,
that one. It's like
the 7 TV one.
Yeah, the other fire.
What's it called again?
I can't remember.
I know the one.
Fire Take or something. It's something stupid.
No. It was oh god, what is it? It's a good ass emote though. I'm gonna look it up right now.
But the point being is that there's a lot of big things happening again.
There it is.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, what is that?
There it is.
I don't know.
Is it a music video? Travis Scott music video?
I think yes. Yeah, it's a music video.
Wow, that's fire. That's
fire.
Literally fire.
Yeah,
It's literally fire.
Good one.
All right.
Yeah,
Do you know what else is fire?
What's that?
Manscaped. Today we're here to celebrate the perfect summer grooming companion that will keep you looking cool even when it's sizzling hot outside. I'm excited to introduce you to the Lawnmower 500 Ultra and the new colorway White Hot from Manscaped. And a sea of options to choose from to perfect your grooming routine. Manscaped undoubtedly shines, and they're riding the whole White Hot waves with their special edition trimmer in white. There are limited quantities available in this colorway, so you gotta act fast if you want this. Step up your grooming game this summer with the Lawnmower 500 Ultra and White Hot's experience position like never before with next-gen dual skin-safe blade heads, an updated trim blade, and an interchangeable foil blade for peak performance. These updated blades are not just for show, they're designed to keep you looking smooth, sleek under the summer sun. First, the updated trimmer blade features longer, wider, and rounded teeth that cut through your hair with ease. And here's where things get interesting. The foil blade, crafted to transcend the boundaries of your typical trim achieved with the trimmer blade. This foil blade is designed to leave you with a finish that's irresistibly sleek and utterly bare. It glides gently over your skin, capturing in the finest hairs for a flawless look that's ready to impress. Whether you're hitting the beach or just enjoying the summer sun, switching between the two blades is a breeze, giving you the versatility you need for all your summer grooming needs. It's like having two trimmers in one, making sure you're always summer ready without breaking the bank. As if the Lawnmower 500 Ultra and White Hot isn't bright enough, Manscaped upgraded their infamous LED light. No more fumbling in the dark, those tricky spots are now brightly illuminated. The new LED light also features a dual temperature function designed to flatter a variety of skin tones. If you're part of the OG Manscaped fam, this trimmer is a tribute to the classics, upholding the same features that we all come to love. A rechargeable battery. I can never do it. Every week, dude. Leon battery, RPM technology for top-notch performance, a travel lock for seamless portability, USB-C charging, and a comprehensive 3-level battery life indicator. And let's not forget the best part, it's still waterproof whether you're at the beach or by the pool. It's always trimming time. Join the 10 million worldwide who trust Manscaped for all their grooming needs and get the special edition Lawnmower 500 Ultra and White Hot while supplies last. Get 20% off and free shipping with code PLATCHAT at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code PLATCHAT at manscaped.com. There you go.
Woo! Yo,
there we go, Johnny. By the way, it's lithium ion. It's a lithium ion battery, Johnny. At this
lithium
point,
ion?
It's a lithium ion battery. The lion battery.
Lithium ion. What,
Johnny, that entire ad read was peak fiction. That's the emote. We found it. It's peak fiction. That's what that was.
True.
Now, technically, we probably shouldn't describe the ad read as fiction because fiction implies that it's not real. So
yeah, it is not
so
peak non-fiction.
What's that?
Afro looks like he's AI generated.
That's the problem. This is the thing. Avast was so upset about me not being here last week. He's like, you know what? We're gonna AI generate AVRL next week. The real AVRL isn't here right now. This is AI generated AVRL. Avast put this all together to make sure that I was on this week.
I chained together 30 different now defunct Bitcoin miner facilities to generate one moving image of AVRL, and it's destroying 1 hectare of rainforest per minute. But in return, we are getting AVRL here today. So this is a big day for us. This is a very big day for us.
I will say your setup. You look like they have the perfect setup to like go live on TikTok. And like people donating you coins.
Oh wait, you can do the Overwatch like live.
Blizzings.
Yes. And then like someone hits you with like the smooch emote for like they donate to you. It's like under gay sex, under gay sex. Did you do that a couple times? Like that would go hard as fuck. You should be the NPC. You should be the Overwatch NPC there. Oh, and then they hit you with the shield and it's like stand behind me. You do the Reinhardt and then you do like don't talk. And then the copy. Then you have the copy. Don't talk to me till you have my fat shatter. Please don't talk to me till I have my fat shatter. You just keep doing that over and over.
He's thought way too much about this. This guy lost his job. He's like,
listen,
I'm going to be
unemployed. I'm unemployed. I might be the NPC. I might become the NPC Overwatch TikTok. You know, just be prepared. Be prepared, okay? Listen, it's tough out here.
It's tough out brain rot that you're aware of. Your brain needs to be studied for the.
Listen, I was interviewing for a job. The recruiter, I was talking to him, literally the next week, they're like, hey, by the way, the recruiter you're talking to, he's been let go. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well.
Can you go for his job? Can you take his job?
Yeah, take the recruiter's job, bro.
I think they're doing a downsizing of sorts. So, unfortunately, nowhere is safe. Even the crypto, like, gaming company I was interviewing for, I did, like, wait to the final rounds. It's like, I can't wait to work at this stupid bullshit. And then they're like, they ghosted me. Like 3 weeks, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, well, that'll do it, huh? That'll do it. So, you know, it's rough out here. NPC TikToker coming to you soon. Get ready.
NPC TikToker. AVRL, when you're in Korea, you should do some TikToks, you know? Like go around, like trying
I don't have that shit installed. That is not installed on my phone.
No? Okay.
I'm proud to say it is not installed.
All right.
Yeah, that's off my feed.
Maybe we should get on with the show and actually talk about the topics we have here today, because Avril apparently wants to go explore outside. So we need to let him do that. All right. Do you want to start with OWCS Korea, Avril? You were there the entire weekend for all 3 days. It was not Korea. It was Asia in Korea. OWCS Asia in Korea. Not sure where you want to start. Like, do you want to start broad? Do you want to go like, how was the event in general? What were the vibes? How was the live stream? What was the vibe?
Let's start with the biggest vibe ever. Where is it? Let me find it. It'd be better if I showed it to you, but I don't want to spend ages, so I'll just tell it to you right now, and maybe I'll look it up at the same time. But the theater that the games are being hosted out of. The theater, the Daehan Theater, where all the games are, where we go and watch them. If you were on my stream, you would have seen that I was in there, and we've been in the Daehan Theater for I think a couple years now, because. Connor, you and I, and Jack, you were there as well 2 years ago for Seth's wedding. We even went to a Contenders game. You guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I've been there before that as well. I was there in 2019 for the Gauntlet, too.
Okay, this guy's OG. That guy, Connor's been here since Hawk Tour Season 0 as well. Okay.
For Gauntlet, that was in the OGN Arena.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think, you're right. That was OGN Arena. Never mind. Okay, I've only been there once. I lied. I've been fact-checked.
Okay.
Sorry,
Politico.
Sorry about that.
That theater is being shut down entirely. Like fully being shut down. Like it's gone. It's like dead. It's fully dead. So you want to tell you the vibes. That's was going to start with the negative. I'm going to get the positive. The negative is you go and you literally front entrance. You walk in, and it's rubble. I'm not joking. It's literally rubble. Yes, rubble around you, debris, because they're actively deconstructing the building. They're not just going to blow it up. They have to deconstruct the building, and so there's a sign at the front that says,
"Okay, I'm sorry."
OWCS Asia, 7th floor, and then you walk around the only walkable part of the area of the cinema to go up the elevator, and even the elevator is looking like this is what a deconstruction elevators look like. All the buttons are barely there anymore. Basically, you look like you're walking into a war zone. Is what it looks like.
Right.
But then you go to the theater and it's still kind of normal. But you know the theater's gone afterwards. The thing is fucking dead afterwards. So we literally, the Sunday, the 3rd day of OWCS, that was the final event ever in that theater. And now I'm pretty sure if I went back today, they would have that theater was the final theater that was even available because OWCS was running there. That's probably now gone as well. That's fully gone now. So the whole thing is probably just fully gone now. But aside from that, pretty good, guys. Pretty good.
Did that genuinely leave you sad? You were like, oh, let's go to the event. Whoa. And then there's just rubble and construction. And you're like, oh no.
Well, I got warned about it beforehand. I met with Seth. He's like, oh, yeah, by the way, Daehan's gone. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, they're shutting the whole thing down. He showed me photos of the room. I'm like, what the fuck? How are we even going to walk through that? What is this going to be?
Are they moving the whole thing, or what's happening with it? Is the company shutting down? So I know it was a cinema, right? And they just rented
it out, surely, so they'll have a new contract, hopefully.
So they had a partnership. So here we go. We're going to walk in, and it's literally
it's actually construction zone.
Oh, wow. You weren't kidding. Wow.
No, I was fully not joking. No, they're moving to Hongdae next year, and
wait, they moved to Hongdae? Okay, that's sick.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, they're going to Hongdae next year in a bigger area. Sky doesn't Johnny doesn't listen to enough podcasts. He doesn't know about Hongdae.
I'm sorry. My bad.
So the good news is they are moving to a bigger, better place next year. But Daehan's shutting down because I think cinemas in general are just not doing super well in Korea, is what it comes down to.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're not alone, because cinemas aren't doing well anywhere, to be fair. So they're not doing that amazing anywhere in the world. So it's not I'm sure it's not a
kind of sick
specific program. That's nice. Oh. I mean, so it's not dead. There's still going to be. So is there still theoretically going to be a venue for Korea games?
Yes, they have a venue for next year. They do have a venue for next year. So yeah, that part is all good. But it was a little sad to know that after a couple years, it's like, damn, we're not going to have this place anymore. But yeah.
Does that production partner do any other esports?
WDG? Yeah, they do.
They do
Valorant challenges. Right? They do
kart races.
They do a bunch of other random games as well. So
a Korean kart game.
All right. Well, let's get to the competition itself. We knew going into it that it's going to be top 4 Korea pretty much, but You know, you get to meet everybody. I saw you doing some backstage stuff because I stayed up all night for some reason. So, you were hanging out with the players. You know, you were vibing still. So it was a bit of a fun event to attend to because it seemed like you were, you get to meet a lot of players and teams and stuff.
Yeah, I got all the backstage stuff, and I got to try to talk to as many Korean players as I could that were able to talk to me at all. Some of them where I thought the English was going to be better weren't, and some of them where I'm like, I didn't think they spoke English at all. They spoke pretty good English. I was like, damn, we could actually have a real conversation. It was pretty good. And in terms of how the games went, as you could really just bring up the Wikipedia, about as you'd expect. Last time in stage 1, at least Bleed Esports took a couple maps of Zeta, but here they didn't get to play Zeta at all. They started out versus Crazy Raccoon, and actually Bleed did reasonably well versus Crazy Raccoon, who initially looked kind of shaky at the start of the tournament, because they then dropped the map to Zeta a little bit later on. But no, there was only a couple of 5 mappers in here. 99 Divine versus Lazuli, which is the number 2 pack team versus the number 1 Japan team. So Japan has improved. They've improved enough to take maps. They improved enough to take maps of Pacific, but they still can't beat Pacific. Bleed were by far the best non-Korean team at this event. They actually play super fucking well versus Pokerface, extremely competitive. Despite the 3-0, I might add. And we finally got to see
139. Bro, I did not watch that game, but that map of holy, that can't have been
okay, close. Not that map, but the other maps were more competitive. Okay. Definitely not that map. And we had the Falcons Crazy Raccoon map 5 situation, which is crazy as well because Falcons recently just beat Crazy Raccoon going into this event, so they won the Korea final, so the domestic competition Korea final before this LAN. Falcons won that. Crazy Raccoon came 3rd in that tournament, I believe. And here, Crazy Raccoon beat Falcons again, but in a weird way because Falcons were leading the series 2-1. It looked like Falcons were going to shut them down. We had essentially one of the most insanely one-sided couple of maps in the middle. Runasapi and Watchpoint Gibraltar. If you actually look at that, Runasapi is a full cap out. That's 144.86. That's a capper. You finish the map. And Crazy Raccoon got nothing done on the map. Watchpoint Gibraltar was a full hold where Proper dominated Lip on Widowmaker. Yes, you heard that correctly. Lip got dominated in a Widowmaker battle against Proper, who's not even like a real raw hit scan player. He's a Hyperflex player that plays like all the DPSs, but he's losing to, he's beating Lip, who's Lip is meant to be the best, guys. So that was a crazy, crazy map. But then Crazy Raccoon obviously lock him for the next 2, and Falcons, they fumbled pretty hard on the next 2 maps. Survivor was super winnable in Kings Row. They look pretty bad in Kings Row, I'm not gonna lie. Survivor was super winnable though. They probably could have had the series 3-1, but now they're gonna have to go lower bracket versus Zeta not next week. This coming be my Saturday, so I guess your Friday in Busan, which I'm not going to be here for. I'm not going to be in Korea for because I'm leaving Korea tomorrow, but I'm going to be home to watch that game.
Yeah, that upper bracket finals was just another amazing Falcons Crazy Raccoon game, and I stayed up, and like you said, it was just super dominant. They looked so good. Falcons looked so good on the Orisa Genji composition. They were playing on Runasapi. They were in control the entire time. Just obviously they lost fight on push, but they were just the better team throughout. Got the full cap. In the very end, it was almost overtime or something. That capped it out with 10 seconds left. But then also Proper just dominating, hitting some insane shots on Gibraltar. And I was like, this is over. They're just dominating Crazy Raccoons. And they were in control of Saravasa. And then they're just I don't want to say they choked. I can't exactly remember because it was 3, 4 a.m. But they threw ultimates. They had super winnable fights, and they just kind of got no ultimate value whatsoever. Again, this was so late, I can't remember any specific examples, but I just got the feeling that they just kind of choked it out, and Crazy Raccoons clutched it up, and then they full held with Junbin playing Wrecking Ball on King's Row. It was an amazing match. It really was full of emotions. I was fully, it's so over. Falcons are going to Stockholm. It was so one-sided. It was just unbelievable. And then Crazy Raccoon won, and I was kind of in shock. I was just there's no way Crazy Raccoon won that. Falcons just dominated. So it was a super weird series to watch. the level of play was super high. It's like one of those classic Overwatch matches you watch, and it feels like everyone you're watching with, we just like know that it's like the two best teams in the world. It's super tense. Yeah. The level is super high, and it's like super entertaining, super intense. It was a great match overall.
How do you feel about this swap from like now that D.Va's kind of been nerfed, all these tank nerfs that have occurred around Orisa, that Orisa's now just like seems to be favored currently for a lot of the best teams of like, we're going to play just a ton of Orisa comps. It's like going to be Orisa, Ramatra, like some Junker Queen, essentially. Like,
because she's a default.
Yeah.
Nothing like, there's not a lot in the meta that counters Orisa. Like, you play Zarya, but then, I don't know, people go and try, you can counter swap Zarya. Like, Chumbin just swapped Ryan versus Harmon when Harmon tried to go
Orisa's
Zarya.
like, not that bad into Zarya either, because you just fucking burn the bubbles and then she just dies. Orisa has like 17 cooldowns to save herself.
So at the end of when you go through all the counter picking, Orisa lands in like the perfect spot where like, okay, Orisa has the least amount of counter picks, so she becomes the default tank.
I think Orisa is essentially the antibacterial resistant bacteria. I think she's the super
bug. The 0.01?
I think she's the super bug. I think she's the 0.001% of bacteria that was not killed by the Lysol wipe. I just she's just so survivable. It's like ridiculous how strong her kit is and like how much damage she can do against like really good Orisa players can farm fucking damage.
Dude,
like, I mean, so much damage.
It's crazy. Like, okay, fair enough. If you want to make a tank that is really good at just like being like, I don't know, like a guard, you know, like just immovable object, you know, like super tanky, immovable object. But the fact you can just run people down with Fortify, no headshots, and just like destroy a Cassidy in like a second, or like what is this? Like, you're too good at like surviving and running it down.
I think it's just a really hard part of her kit, because I mean, personally, I also don't necessarily mind it. I think the meta actually still is not like bad. Like, it's still like a very much. It's still like, it's like a very, like, we have a lot of very like heavy death ball-y metas. I think especially with the Juno comps that are so prevalent right now, like everyone's like playing like a very brawl-centric style to a degree, and Orisa's like definitely part of that. But I don't mind it, because there's still like, you still see counter picks, you see some variation on maps. I'm just wondering if it's like, do we hate Orisa? Because like, I personally don't hate Orisa, but I also think that the problem with her kit still is like, it's like she's entered Roadhog territory where like you have to make her not.
There's some echo going on.
There's definitely an echo. I think it's from Kevin. I think it's from Kevin. I was like, is this? I was like, does my AI generated podcaster have a homunculi?
I can hear that. I can hear. Like, there's like an echo going on.
The stream, bro.
My AI generated podcaster, he's got a little homunculus in myself.
Is it? Do you have auto adjust or something? Does it like pick up the?
No.
All right, it was fine.
No. It's because I also have my laptop open and I was trying to bring up the stream so I get better quality there.
But yeah, I actually don't mind Orisa currently right now, but I just find her kit to be like in a weird spot where like she's so strong or she's so weak.
Okay, so I'm the tank player here, and even I'll say that just like it's pretty ridiculous how I feel like I can swap onto some tanks and have insane burst. That I can just like blow up a support or blow up a Cassidy with like 250 health in the matter of like a second and a half, 2 seconds. Like, not only am I the most survivable hero in the game, I can also just blow up a low HP target.
Yeah.
And like on D.Va, Ramatra, Orisa, like I don't know, it's weird. I feel like I just run people down.
Dude, I say this every single patch now. Every single patch comes out, it's like, oh, a small buff to Orisa. I'm like, she's the problem hero. She is going to be a problem at some point, and she is going to be to the point where, oh, we need to buff her again because of this. She's not getting enough playtime, or like she's not getting enough win rate or whatever. Her, Hog, like, they're all like the red light heroes where if they become powerful, they become game warping, and Orisa is. I kind of agree with Connor though at the very moment in time. I think there's a lot of viable tanks, which is really fun, but I do think as metas develop, Orisa, if she is in the meta near the top, she always becomes just, we have to pick Orisa because none of the other tanks we can swap into will be the big difference. Like, she can just survive everything. She can just, it doesn't matter. Like, she will survive every bit of damage, every kind of dive. Like, she can protect people. Like, yeah, I don't.
She's also one of the best with like dueling people too.
Right.
Like Johnny was talking about. Like Orisa,
you
like
can
Ramatra, can just
any
duel
character
so
in the
well.
game. Because you are a fucking tank with insane armor, and then you go not invulnerable, but you're immune to CC when you hit gold. You have a spear spin. You
Fortify
have CC.
Is insane.
Yeah, Fortify is ridiculous.
Well, then also,
CC,
I mean, the spear like
up.
hitbox is fucking crazy too. Like the spear hitbox is like literally you are throwing a fucking meteor at the enemy team. If you miss that shit, like that is incredible. Like they have to be like absolutely snatched away, like no shot that you miss that because the spear is so.
I want to say this though.
Here's a hot take for Orisa. I think they should remove any kind of speed up from her kit. So like her spear spin, I do not think should speed up. Like she should be, her weakness should be she is immobile or like close to immobile, right? She already slows down slightly with Fortify. If you just remove the speed up from the spear spin, she becomes a tank that does rely on someone else to kind of help you speed up, which funnily enough, do you know is that character? But at least give her that kind of weakness. We don't need a character, especially someone like Orisa, that has an all-round ability to go almost immortal, speed up so you can duel people, eat things, and then also have hella armor. Her other downside, obviously, is that she has a massive head hitbox. But that kind of is compensated for the fact that you can go gold. I don't know. I'm not too pissed at her right now, but I do fear that we are going to get into a meta once again where Orisa is just OP and permapick.
This is still to me better than a Ram meta. Like a full Ram meta where it's only Ram versus Ram is definitely one of those boring tank metas you can get. Orisa is a step above that. Now listen, this might just be like I'm deciding between two piles of shit. I'm choosing the slightly more appealing pile of shit, but I still prefer Orisa meta versus like a Ram meta. And we were in Ram versus Ram in Faceit League playoffs. Like, dude, if this is the meta, this is so bad. If we're just playing Brig Ram the whole time, that'd be awful. But Orisa's not great, but I wish we still got a little bit more variety. I thought Ram was still going to be played. I'm not going to lie. I was a little surprised that we didn't see more Ram in Korea. I will say this, though, because the map pool, at least in Korea, I don't know if NA and EU had the same map pool, but the map pool in Korea had a bunch of dive maps, a bunch of sniper maps. So
it's the same map pool, right? It's like Junkertown, Gibraltar, and stuff. Yeah,
Gibraltar, Havana, Rialto. So those maps are not all. You can't play Orisa on all those maps. You have to think about Winston for Gibraltar. You have to think about dive tanks. Jumbin once again proves that ball is playable. Ballesteria played a ton of ball as well. Not every single map is good for Orisa because you have actual high ground there. You have actual sniping maps, which enables those hit scan plays again. Because if you look at the roster moves by a lot of these Korean teams, Zeta ended up picking up Pelican, and Crazy Raccoon ended up picking up Knife. So all these teams who lost to Falcons in the Korea final, the Korea playoffs, are like, dude, how do we beat Proper and Stalker? They have two flex DPS. They're two of the best flex DPSs. We need to get some flex DPSs because we're stuck with Flora and Lip, who that shouldn't be a bad thing. But if you want flexibility, you need extra firepower. So they end up getting these flex DPSs. Then we realize, oh shit, hang on, we can still play hit scans. So then Flora and Lip just end up playing basically the whole time anyway. And then you look at the map pool, it's like, yeah, this is a super hit scan favorite actually. So they didn't really need to go towards the flex DPS options. They have them. But yeah, we're in another situation where Crazy Raccoon get to kind of go back to old reliable, put Lip on the main gun, get some of that Orisa in there, but still be the only other team that can play a bunch of super unique picks like ball that other teams just can't play. And that's a big part of why Crazy Raccoon won, a big part of why when we look at this meta, Falcons are ahead again because it looked like Zeta Division had caught up and had solidified this top 3 in Korea. But then you go to this event, and Zeta Division are just a tier below Crazy Raccoon and Falcons again because, meta-wise, it shifted in Falcons' favor, and Zeta couldn't keep up with that. Poker Face were competitive. Proud is still my guy. He's still, I think, the most exciting brand.
And an insane map.
He's the most exciting, new player that was not in Overwatch League. So basically, if you're a non-Overwatch League player, I still think you're kind of a new guy. So yeah, Proud is the most exciting new prospect we've had in a very long time. Next to Knife and stuff. But Knife's actually played in Overwatch League, whereas Proud didn't because he was too young. So yeah, Proud's my. By the way, name starts with PRO. I'm all about the plays that start with PRO. Profit, Proper, Proud. That's my trio
don't
right
get
there.
this guy started. Fucking Nostradamus numbers ass. Putting the fucking the letters. We arrange the letters in this way. I'm gonna check my crystal ball. I don't want to hear this astrology shit coming from you, Avril. I'm tired of your astrology.
How is this astrology?
I'm tired of your astrology Overwatch talk. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of, and also that whole rant just to say that Crazy Raccoon has huge humongo PPs and are the best team in the region still. So
Lip had an insane King's Row map against Cell Division. Lip Widowmaker just popped off, had a few moments. It was really fun to see.
It just
I think it was actually the ball. I think the ball was actually the thing that got them that King's Row.
Oh,
for me.
I meant against, I think it was against Cell Division, not against Falcons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it was really funny. A few moments that also stood out. Hanbin going to play Winston because Falcon's win condition was Nanoblade on King's Row. And they didn't get a single kill with Nanoblade. But Hanbin Winston, he tried. They get full health.
That's just the shoot. That's just the shoot Chorong backline. Adamantium.
Yeah, it was Adamantium. It was crazy. You're like, okay, here's Popper with a Nanoblade, and they didn't get a single kill, and they full hold. Also, there was that, was it Crazy Raccoon Center Division on Gibraltar where Violet just played Kiriko or something, and people were like, please get Violet off Kiriko, please. Because they were playing like a dive mirror.
Remember.
They were playing like a dive mirror, I think it was on Gibraltar, and they just like got perma-dove because they didn't play a brig or anything. And so Crazy Raccoon was just like permanently in their backline, and people were like, please get Violet of Kiriko. That was really funny. These maps, like these series, were so much fun to watch. Honestly, I'm so jealous that I don't get to watch OWCS Korea and Asia live. It's actually crazy because that
I would
region
actually
is so
coach
much
in the
more
group
fun.
stages. I would watch all of the region if it was there.
It's
If I was
crazy.
able
Like you watch it and like four. Yeah, it's 4, right? Cell Division, Crazy Raccoon, Falcons, Poker Face. But like really insane teams, and you get so many amazing matchups between like insane rosters. It's so much fun.
I beg, please let me cast Korean games. Just bring them over to Korea. Maybe if we have a system where everybody is based in LA, and then we have some sort of like just like 10 teams. 10 teams playing against each other all the time, bro. It would be fucking crazy. No
That's
way.
crazy.
Same jokes, same podcast, same 6 like
Me
for
when
the last
Avril,
like 2 years.
when Overwatch League 2 happens and Avril still can't get the visa,
Dude,
and he's like,
if cost is a problem, fucking, I don't even care. We don't need LA. LA is overpriced. We know this. Fucking send us to Poland or something.
Ohio.
Let's go
Gary,
to Columbus.
Indiana.
Let's go hang
Gary,
out, fuck it.
Indiana.
do not
Just
send me to
please.
Ohio. Do not.
But, like,
send me
Where's
to
the
Ohio.
cheapest place in the US, guys? Where's the cheapest place?
Kansas.
Alaska.
It's probably, no, it's probably like no. Alaska's actually expensive. Depending on it depends if you're in
Really?
like a proper city.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because it's so expensive to get shit there. It's like
What,
Hawaii,
Anchorage?
Like,
okay.
yeah. I would say
Anchorage
Kansas.
Brewery, good beer.
Kansas would be
Kansas.
probably one of the cheapest places in the U.S. because it is a literal.
Just the whole state?
If there's-
Everywhere?
yes,
the whole state?
literally the whole state. Literally the whole state. As someone whose family is from Kansas originally, I'm sorry to any Kansas listeners. I'm sorry that state is terrible. So that's just like, but it is really
Kansas City
cheap.
Chiefs, baby.
It is really, really cheap though.
I do miss casting a lot of the Korean players and like
It's
the
crazy.
level of.
By the way,
the
Kansas
play
City is not from
just
Kansas, Avril. Just want to
insane.
let you know. The
Wait,
Kansas City
what?
Chiefs.
What?
It's in Missouri. It's in Missouri.
What? That's false advertising.
That's not false advertising. Unfortunately, that's one of the trap we put out there to foreigners to make sure to see.
I've never
It's kind
seen
of like
this
the
video.
meme to see if you. It's like that one meme from Inglourious Bastards where the guy holds up 2 fingers. That's essentially what just happened to you. So get on, idiot.
Oh my god.
But anyway, yeah, I do miss casting like Crazy Raccoon, Team Falcons. Like the level of play those you get in Korea, like oh man, it's just so clean, man. I just miss.
Hey Jack. I also miss casting Crazy
I
Raccoon
know.
and Falcons.
I don't mean to
Me too,
obviously
brother.
make that as a dig.
Me too,
I
brother.
don't. Obviously, I don't mean that as a dig, Avril. But I'm just like, yeah, I do.
You
miss
also did.
casting
You
those
casted them at World Cup, didn't you? With Jake. You did a fucking Jake cast of Crazy Raccoon
Okay.
Falcons.
things. That wasn't my fault. That was not my fault. We're not getting that.
Okay,
know
so
what?
No, I'm saying
Anyway.
you cast. No, I'm saying you cast them. My point is, I'm saying you did cast them.
Yeah, okay,
is what I'm
sure.
trying to say. You cast
You're
them.
not wrong. I did, to be fair, I
Holy
cast them in
shit.
Dallas as well, but yeah.
What were you
Looking at
saying?
this fucking insane display of wealth that I'm looking at this fucking video. I've
is
never
this? Is
seen
this
this
Bala?
like
Is this
walkthrough
Bala?
before.
Yeah, this is
Blizzard
Blizzard.
Arena.
I used to work in that room. I worked in this room,
fucking
2019.
insanity.
Right there,
Looking at this
on that
now,
chair. That's where I
compare.
sat.
I just think of like where we're at now to where we used to be. This shit, this video alone is costing me $100,000 a minute.
Yeah.
To look at. This video alone is literally like the amount of wealth that is in this moment that is being spent is fucking insanity. to
Me
look
and
at.
what was his name? Matt Marcel or something. We used to sit right there and make a research package every year or every week.
This looks
That's what
like
we get paid to do.
this looks like a PPA. That looks like a player practice room, no?
No, the
Well,
PPAs
they
are
changed the
they're in
room.
the same build. They're in the same
They
areas,
changed
but
the
this is
room,
the
yeah.
Blizzard offices.
This is
the Blizzard
2018, so the year after
Yeah.
they made it more corporate.
Yeah.
This is where we had talent
God damn.
meetings.
I've
I
never
wish-
seen this video before.
Yeah, I wish I was.
I've never seen this before either.
Overwatch
I've
League.
never seen this before. This is
We
like
had, I mean, that's back when we had, you know, I don't know,
I
like
was
15
there.
talent members.
I
That
was there
crazy.
in 2018, but I was downstairs being permabench,
Yeah.
so I didn't see this one quite as much. I had one meeting, I think, in these
That's
Blizzard
Nate Nasser's
offices.
office, right there.
This is yeah. Connor had to share a room with
Commissioner?
old Huck and just probably not actually. Huck would have had his own room, but
No, I had one meeting in this Blizzard offices in 2018. It
Oh,
was with
here's the
talent
big
managers
window
for Overwatch
meeting.
League at the
This is where all the
time.
big boy meetings happened because they had windows.
That's pretty awesome.
And they had
Dude,
they had
it's
some
literally
Overwatch
this
art on the wall.
space.
Yeah.
I remember, if I remember properly, this space to rent in the 2 years they had it was like $1 million a month or
Oh, that's
something.
crazy,
A month?
It was,
A month?
was like $1 million a month to rent this space.
The
It
guy
was,
in
like,
the video, he went to work
ridiculous.
on like some like global job at like Formula One in like
Really?
2021 or something. Yeah.
Wow.
So
guys,
you know,
guys,
some
if we-
some of us, you know, got great, you know, jobs afterwards, and some of us are here, you know,
Doing Plat Chat at 4
yeah.
p.m. on a
Yeah.
Tuesday.
if we get,
Well,
if
the
we
difference-
get,
that's
if we
fair.
get, all we need, if we get the AG1 sponsorship, we can get $1 million a month for this. That's how we
$1
pay for
million
this.
a month.
Dude,
$1 million a month. We
That's
go
how we
back.
pay
We
for this.
this
re-rent
is
the
so
space
off
again.
topic. But is it like AG1 falling apart? They like their entire board left. They're
Bro,
like,
that whole
that is-
the whole thing. I don't want to. We don't. Let's
Alright.
not get into it. But like that whole
Okay.
fucking like green juice
New
shit
topic. New topic.
Okay.
Are athletic greens a bad business strategy? Like, was that really the best pick for people that listen to podcasts? Like, yes, a lot of them are doing ice baths and like trying to, you know, doing maximum protein synthesis. But I'm pretty sure like most of them are just listening to the Talk to a podcast. So I don't
here's
think they
the
care
box.
about the athletic greens.
Here's the what do they call it? The box where like all the
This
owners
was the
and
box.
stuff.
Yes, this is where the
All
owners
the-
would come.
The
Yeah.
owners box.
Yeah.
Be like above the crowd, one side of the glass, can't
Yep.
see back in.
Went there
That's
once.
awesome, bro.
Went there
Tons
once.
of snacks.
To watch their teams through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, they did.
Well, they had like tons of monitors.
Well, and they would
stuff
also
too,
bring
but-
like they would also bring VIPs, like they had celebrities
Yeah.
or like certain like big financial people like come through there and shit. Like it was like the level of wealth in Overwatch League season 1 and 2 was actually hard to comprehend. Like
What
how
was his
much.
name? Owen Wilson, the
there.
actor. Is
Owen
that his
Wilson,
name?
Yep.
Yeah, he was
Owen
there.
Wilson
Is that where
too.
Josh Hutchinson was hanging out before he
Yes.
got
Josh
into
Hutchinson,
the
yeah.
league? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I've
This
never
is
been in
just-
this room before. Oh, this is where lights are, I guess.
I'm assuming the stage lighting.
Yeah, that must be
I
I
Yeah.
wanna
lights,
watch
I
this.
guess, yeah.
Where is this video? Where did you find this video?
There's a
It's
thousand
Let's
views.
Tour
views.
the arena at
It's not even
Blizzard.
an official video. It's just
From
some
2017?
person.
That
Jeez.
2017 or 2018?
Yeah, October
Yeah,
2017.
it's
Yeah,
2017.
So this is before the season even started?
Wow.
Oh my god, this is I didn't even know about this piece of content ever existing. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
We never did
I
a
literally feel like
behind the
we're doing the
scenes.
recolored, like touched up footage of World War II era like film, and I'm sitting here just watching this. Is like, oh my god, like they will not be
It
forgotten.
was a
I
travesty.
can't
Oh
believe
no,
it.
they won't know. They don't know what's gonna happen. No, no.
I was like, no,
They're
no,
Don't do
building-
it.
they're building the
don't
Bus
sign
Arena.
the exclusivity deal. Don't sign it, please. They just didn't know. These poor souls.
Yeah, there we go. Wow, good times.
There
So
was the room
lovely
that they used to
space.
do contenders cast out of. Is that little green room right there? I remember
Oh,
casting
really?
in that.
Really?
Yep. And North
No
American
way.
Contenders was in that room, and so I would go there with ZP in 2018 and cast out of this room.
That's awesome.
They changed it
Wow.
up. This room was not
Dude.
this. Obviously,
Wasn't this
at the
the?
time,
Oh,
but
this
yeah.
was the player walkout. This is the player walkout room. So all the
Or,
casters are
oh,
here.
maybe
actually.
it was.
All
Yeah,
the
they used
casters
to
are
do that,
here,
yeah.
and then they do the player walkouts right next to them and come out the tunnel. Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, it's
Just
awesome.
some crazy shit. There was some
Damn,
crazy
I
shit back in
never
the
got
day.
to go to the arena, man. I never got to fucking go.
It was always
Neither.
crazy because like
Neither.
they had security badges and all the players are like you're supposed to badge it out. And they had security guards watching all the entrances and like, but like if you just looked like you were supposed to be part of the group, they just the security's like, come on in, like come on in, and you'd always
Yeah.
just walk through. It would just be
You
like
just need a
people walking
high-vis
through with
jacket
all
and a
them.
clipboard. You walk in.
Oh, the production room. Wow, this is just a
Yep.
throwback. The
Yeah.
big. Okay, we never used this production room right here. I think
40,000
This small
people
one.
used
this
to
is
live
audio.
here.
This is
Now
audio.
it's a ghost town.
This is an audio room.
I wonder what it is now.
I think.
I
they
mean,
just rent
it
it
was
out.
always just like studio space. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
it's
it's just
just-
for any sort of studio like need. But
And like
it's
they were
also,
like a
crazy expensive.
right next to it was like a Nickelodeon office, and like there's
Yes,
catering
yes.
for the entire studio.
Yeah, there was
space, and,
they had a whole cafeteria that like all the teams would go and you could just go eat food for essentially free from the cafeteria like every day. So it was like banging. It was fucking crazy. Little did we know that it was only going to get worse and it would never get better. This was
I
the
mean,
best it would ever
think
This is
be.
the
about it.
observer room.
Think about it.
All those PCs
Just
were used for
remember.
the all access pass. So because they needed
really?
12,
Wow.
12 streams or something, they had all access pass. This is all the observers sat here. Admins, I think, two.
Connor.
No, maybe not admins.
Yes, several. Yes.
You bring up a good point though. You know, Jack joins in 2020. It all goes downhill after that.
Yeah, it was all my
I
fault,
hadn't considered
guys.
that. I hadn't
This is
considered that
replays.
actually.
I mean,
I hadn't
Bren also
considered
was
that.
also patient zero for COVID for the US. So I mean, you know,
Yeah.
some of that can be blamed on me. Some of that
I
can
think
be
what
blamed
we
on
can do
Bren.
here is that we can target most of the issues that occurred with Overwatch League to British people. British people cause
Yeah,
most
That's
of
very
the
true.
true.
trouble.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
always
very
the
true.
British guys.
That's what we can attribute to this.
Yes. I finally get my big shot, and then everything shuts down, and yeah, all my.
Dude, I love
I
seeing
can't
the
believe
posters of like Cool Mat. I think it was a Cool Mat poster we just passed.
This is the main production room. 3 rows. You have your
3 rows, 6
technical-
consoles.
Yeah. So the giant
launch
keyboard on the
rockets out of
right
here in Houston,
is
yeah.
like the guy swapping all the cameras. You have the guy running traffic, just like here where we're going next. Someone just keeping tabs on sponsor reads, ad reads. The front left one is like the halftime producer and stuff like that. And then you have like watch point producers and senior producers and replay producers and oh my
Right
god, there's
outside
so
those
many
doors, there
people.
was the gift shop for Overwatch League 2, where there would be a bunch of awkward meet and greets that occurred there. So all the players would like come out and talk to fans. There'd be a lot of really awkward meet and greets. I'm pretty sure some of like the most awkward. And then I think on the other side, if you walk this the other side of the building, there was the smoking area where all the Korean players smoked. There was over there too. So there was a lot of very big, important cultural moments at the.
Oh, that's Hearthstone. That's the Hearthstone logo in the background. Oh, it's a BlizzCon video maybe.
Oh, James made
Whoa,
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck, is it any good?
Yeah. Whoa, is it any good? Let's watch that.
Is it any good?
I actually want to watch that.
James,
You
May,
know,
bro.
that's
Yeah.
actually kind of interesting because we're looking at two. I noticed how they suggest just a Cybertruck right after the Blizzard Arena. Like those are two products that have not done well in the whole grand scheme of things.
Oh my
in
God.
the production. That's kind of
Oh,
interesting. That's
James
kind
May,
of
James May.
interesting.
Click.
They've clocked
Let's
us.
just
They've
watch
clocked
it. Let's
us
turn it
here.
into a car podcast.
What if we just go
Cybertruck.
watch like a bunch of like 2018 era Blizzard Arena tours from like people going
my
there when
God.
it was like really novel? We just watched like 10 of them back to back. That would be.
This is
incredible.
what you're gonna waste the AVRL AI on. This is you build the whole AVRL AI to watch videos.
The
on
AVRL
YouTube.
AI is not a waste, okay? It's not a waste. I'm testing the capabilities because that way then I'm gonna give you a funny accent after in the next episode. And I'm gonna make sure to start training. I'm gonna start training every other caster's voice in esports for the AVRL AI. I'm gonna steal their intellectual property rights and voices. And there's nothing you can do because AI is the future, buddy. So get used to it, okay? Get used to it, casters. Captain Flowers, sorry.
Yeah.
AI Avril is going to have your voice now, and I'm going to have all your voice lines. Sorry, Captain Flowers. It's
Connor,
over to
Connor
you.
couldn't get a
Imagine.
job at an AI crypto gaming company, so he's made his own. He created his
I'm
own
making
AI.
my own. I'm calling it Avrilbot. I'm making my own.
Someone did make an AI commentator for League of Legends. It was obviously not very good, but it was insane. Like the level of emotion in that voice was negative. Like they had zero emotion. It was absurd.
So it'd be
Holy
like
fuck,
Matt.
they're doing the check-in process. They're
Mr.
doing the whole
Mr.
check-in.
Rex AI cast.
It'd be like Matt, yeah. It's exactly like Matt, yeah. An AI kind of built to talk about Overwatch vaguely, and then maybe
now,
named to
we,
the NBA.
I am-
we really need to move on.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I was about to say it doesn't. Avril has 2 hours, so we've
Yeah,
done like
we
an
have
hour.
an hour left. We have
Oh,
an
yeah,
hour left.
wrap it up. Wrap it
I have
up.
Hawk 2 hours, guys. Hawk 2 hours. Come on.
He said it. He said it. He
he
said
said it
it.
again.
I will now allow the Avril AI an
2
extra
hours.
terabyte of storage, so he can go closer to the sentence.
You can upgrade further.
Was there anything else on OWCS Korea? Settle Division, Poker Face. Poker Face played a lot of Sen and stuff like that, but they're out. It's just Falcons. It's Falcons against Settle Division, and then winner qualifies to Stockholm. They get to play
Yeah,
against Chris Raccoon
so
for 1
they
and 2.
play the lower bracket match, the lower bracket final, and the grand final next week in Busan. Well, on my Saturday, your Friday in Busan. And the Falcon Zeta game is super important because you have to win that game to go to Stockholm.
Yeah.
So one of Zeta division of Falcons is not going to go to Stockholm. If Falcons don't go to Stockholm, it's an absolute tragedy for that team. If Zeta don't go to Stockholm, well, they just don't get to go to any OWCS major this year. They did go to World Cup, but they didn't get to go to any of the OWCS majors. So somebody gets to miss out. It would be nice if they all went, but they don't get to all go.
I hope Zeta makes
So
it.
somebody
I
has
really
some-
want Zeta to make
Please,
it.
yeah.
Zeta has like an incredible brand. They've like invested so much like as an organization in esports in Japan. Like they're really doing a lot of really cool things as esports orgs
Yeah.
go. So
I-
I really would like Zeta to make it just because I
They-
want the brand to succeed.
They are the worst team, though. I'm not going to lie to you. As
Yeah.
team quality goes, they are not as good as Falcons. So
Listen,
if they
we
do go-
we're in the stage OWCS does not need good gameplay. OWCS needs clout. It needs clout badly. That's why we're going to have to, like, yes, is NRG probably the worst signed team? We have to send them, unfortunately. We're going to have to send them. They're going to have to go. Like, we have to send Zeta Division. It simply has to happen. We don't need skill. We need clout. We need Haley Welch. We need it. We need all of this right now. We don't need any gameplay.
Falcons, one of the most stacked rosters in the space.
Falcons,
we don't need
unfortunately,
proper at the finals. Yeah, let's not bring
Falcons
proper,
has enough
good.
talent where I'd be willing to let them
Geofielder.
go. I'd be willing to let them go because they have enough talent. But unfortunately, I think I'd still rather.
We
take
need
Zeta Division
Violet
for
to
the-
throw at Stockholm for the highlights.
I'd really rather have Zeta Division still for the growth of the scene. Okay, we need Japan. We need Japan. Okay, we're
We
nothing
do.
without
Japan is the next region, bro. I'm telling you.
We're nothing without
It's
Japan.
happening.
Oh, okay, you want the org? Oh, the Zeta Division org. I see. I get it. I
Okay,
get it.
Falcons will be in there no matter what. They will. They have enough money to make sure they'll keep running for quite some time. So they'll be there no matter what. But I think Zeta Division, they need some return on the investment. And Crazy Raccoon, they're good enough to where I'm like whatever. But also that org is also clouded, so it's good that they're also good. But that's my pitch. I think we should start SRP checking all the teams, and if any team is too good but doesn't have enough Twitter followers, they're not going to Stockholm. They're not going.
Why don't we just
Oh my
remove
God.
an EMEA slot or an NA slot and then just have all three of them there? Makes most sense to me.
Well, we can remove one NA and one EMEA and give one more to Korea and one to China next year.
One to a wild card. Oh yeah, China.
Well,
yeah.
we can't remove too many. How many does North America have again?
Three.
Three NA, three EMEA.
Okay,
for
actually we could do that. We could send Defiant and NRG. That's fine. We could do that.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can remove one slot.
Defiant
from North
NRG,
America.
and then EMEA, they send what? ENTS and Space Station?
Yeah, we can make
Yeah,
that work.
and
We
then
can
we
make that
got
work.
three
actually.
to try.
Nightmare's punching air right now. Nightmare's just punching air.
Nightmare is punching air. They're pissed.
Nightmare
Sorry,
is
we
punchy.
need-
I mean,
we need Shy,
unfortunately,
Yusue. Sorry.
I need to see a little bit more. I mean, I'm gonna give Nightmare. If you guys open up an office, I will allow you guys to go to Stockholm. But until I
Open up
see
an
some physical incorporation, I don't know. Right now, you're
Until they
working.
give
You
a
look like a
Vast a job, and
You're looking like a PayPal organization.
Hire Vast.
You're looking
Hire
like a
Vast for
PayPal
the-
organization right now. So I need to see some more foundational. Be like, you need to open up your own Fusion arena, and then maybe we'll consider. We will consider
Holy
Nightmare Arena.
shit.
All right, and moving on to OWCS EMEA. I mean, look, this is, I've been saying this so much. The first week of group stage, a lot of it's going to be Stomp. We had ENS, Virtus Pro, Space Station, and Piece of Cake advance over Twisted Minds, which, you know, if you haven't been following, then yeah, maybe Twisted Minds losing to Piece of Cake was a surprise to you, but even
Piece of
the
Cake's
fans,
good, bro.
even the fans voted Piece of Cake to be the favorite, so that gives you an idea. It's a great team, you know.
they're a good
leftovers of-
team. They are literally the
Oh,
better
yeah,
parts
this is
of
a new-
Peps.
This is what I'm saying. They're a
This
great
is-
team,
Yeah,
yeah.
but the fans,
This is
bro,
Gaming
the
Gladiators.
No, it's half of Gaming Gladiators technically because Peps, there's like a split, but Piece of Cake just have the best pieces of
Yeah.
Team
Great
Peps.
damage duo,
Oh,
crispy.
Peps is full French now.
Yeah.
Peps is
Yes,
100%
They went
Peps is
French
all
now.
full French
They're all
again,
French.
and Piece of Cake are like the offshoot.
But wait,
and then
they
Piece of
don't have
Cake
Ben
just
Best.
no. Ben Best is the coach for Cheesecake. Piece of Cake.
The cheesecake, piece of cake, yeah.
Cheesecake.
Ben Best. Ben Best is coaching piece of cake.
Wait,
So-
then they get sponsored by Uncle Tetsu's. Oh, that's so smart, actually. Rebranded Cheesecake, real quick. Piece of
Yeah,
cake.
there you
Rebranded
go.
and then you get sponsored by Uncle Tetsu's.
It's crazy. I know it was so funny because the first time I've ever done this was looked at the comments of the last Plat Chat episode and someone was like, I think you guys are disrespecting Peps too much. And I'm like, Piece of Cake are literally the better players. Like, straight up. Like, you cannot tell me that the Team Peps are going to take that. You go 1v1, you go for a head-to-head right now, Piece of Cake are wiping the floor with Team Peps.
Who has the more
every
clout?
single
Who has the
time.
total? Who has the higher total?
Who has the
follower
more
count?
clout? The thing is,
Yes.
the problem
we
with
need the
that
French
statement
fans. We
is
need the French
that
fans. French fans
Peps
are goated.
have the French, and that's the issue. Piece of Cake have like every part of Europe, sure, but it's like, you know, the meek part. Oh, okay, you've only got one Dane. You know, there's a couple of British people, but no one likes British people. You know, the
France
one
is hard.
Spaniard.
France is hard.
And then
Getting the French in.
Getting the French in. So the clout is on Team Peps' side, but the
Yeah.
skill and like the winning attitude is a Piece of Cake. So
All right.
Once again,
Well-
it's not important.
They did go to map 5
once
against
again, didn't
Ioma.
ask, Connor.
And also, there was a pretty banger series between Peps and Ioma. So that was a good one. And they're going to have to rematch again for the decider map of who gets through the group. And honestly, I don't know.
That
I've been
game
a
is going to
huge
be
one-man army sim. but
because I think One Man Army kind of threw that game. They are the better team in that.
They threw, but they won, apparently.
Yes. Did you watch? Oh my god, the Gibraltar game with Team Peps. I kind of get the vision. FD God goes Life Weaver on Gibraltar to like boost tanks up onto the high ground.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But it's just like Weaver is just not good, bro.
No.
It's terrible compared to like you could like Juno Ana, Juno Kiri, like Juno Brig. Like that backline is just infinitely superior, man. And you just get full held. You don't switch the Weaver.
You don't bring it out on map 5.
No, you don't bring that shit out on map 5. You just go fucking default, bro. Just go Lucio. Although I don't really like the Lucio Juno comps, to be honest. I think the Juno Brig is just far superior, or like Juno Ana on some maps. Yeah, one man army is just about a team, I think. That series, maybe it's close again, but I would give it to like Aoma 3-1.
Yeah. And then SR Peak check, they lost 3-0 to EXO, so sad for all the lineup mains.
Yeah, that's just depressing, bro.
Dude,
yeah.
How do they keep playing EXO? They played the same team like 5 times now over the past 3 months. Where was the EXO? Where was the SR Peak check space station? We didn't get a Rhine off. We were this close to getting a Hardy
They are not
versus
playing
Cloudy
the
Rhine
Rhine
battle.
They are not playing a Rhine off.
would.
They might do it one map, but then they just sub in KSA and he just slaps on off tanks.
Yeah, they summon him. Yeah, that's
KSA's a
noteworthy.
good player, man.
SSG, they played
Hardy said
KSA,
he
and
would.
it was really good.
Hardy said he would Rhine off versus Cloudy if they met up. He did.
Of course.
I totally 100% believe that. Would they do that for every single map? I'm not sure.
So did KSA play the majority of games? Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a Ramatra player for the team, so.
Yeah, because it's just like, and then he goes Diva if you need to, and like he's just so flexible in the server for off tanks, and like this is a meta that's kind of dominated by them. Because Winston's like good, but it's like, oh, you'd probably rather have Diva, but then you'd like Ram and all that shit. Like, yeah, Space Station. I think with this pickup, like with KSA's pickup, the team is just incredible now, like unbelievable, like well-rounded. The playoff bits, or like the main event, sorry, should be so sick actually because of that one pickup. They're going to be way more competitive versus like Ents, who I think are probably the best team in the EU right now.
Dude, do you guys like it how in my new setup you can see me walk to my fridge and grab a drink?
I don't really care, to be honest.
You don't care about that? You don't think you like that? It's like I'm living in a diorama and you can see me walk around in my little doll.
I don't think
I've
you
always
can see
wanted
that.
a vast diorama actually.
I can take my phone and walk around. I can walk outside. I can do this podcast from like the Korean streets. If you want me to report in the streets right now,
I would rather you don't cause a public disturbance. No, please don't cause a public
I think
disturbance.
you should do it. I think you should do it, and you should be asking them, who do you want to go to Stockholm? Do you want Zeta Division, or would you prefer Falcons? You need to be asking the Korean public. You need to be asking the Korean public.
Tell them it's a straight interview. Yeah.
All right. A couple more things on OWCS EMEA first. I would say the Vendetta versus Wasp match on Sunday after I had been up for like 20 hours. That literally sent me into like a coma. Like I felt like I had taken like ayahuasca and I was watching Gurkmeister and just playing. That was one of the most insane matchups I've ever seen all year. It is
crazy.
Chaos.
We have like Vendetta versus Wasp, and then I tune into Korea and it's Falcons Crazy Raccoon. I'm like, the gameplay pretty similar. I was just watching the Gurk just bomb people on Junkrat and stuff.
Yeah, against.
You know what? I'll hold on my part till we get to the North American segment because there's some things happening.
And then I want to give a shout out as well. I think it was Crocs and Anj from Vendetta. They're just great interviews. Great player interviews on the broadcast.
Really
a lot of fun actually. So good for the clout. Love that.
Crocs
really good job.
Crocs is a funny guy. Same with
This matchup was just insane. The Gurkmeister.
I'm gonna assume this is not the EU meta. This is definitely not the EU meta.
It is not Junkrat Ball, bro. They have 2 OTPs on their team.
But that's OWCS EMEA for you.
Look at him.
What is the actual EU meta though? What are they playing?
It is tending towards the Orisa, I think.
I think all the regions are currently starting to tend towards the Orisa in general.
Yeah,
like a lot of teams
this
are
shit
starting
is
to go towards
unkillable. It has CC, like it can survive on its
also,
own.
like you think Europe, like there's definitely gonna adopt like Junker Queen and like Orisa just because it's so like
so
brawl,
EU-pilled.
so brawl pilled, you know, like it has the shape of brawl in it. It's like how water takes the shape of its container. Orisa will take the shape of brawl, 100%.
That's so true. Holy Socrates.
But there you go. A couple of good
Peak
matches in
fiction
EMEA
right
coming
there.
up, so
Peak
stay tuned for that. I'm the podcast host, so I'm moving things along because we have a...
That's true. Oh, wait, we're still here.
I'm good.
We're here.
Voss and I still good.
Oh, Solomon died. No.
Wait, what?
Wait.
But I think we're
Solomon?
still live because he put the room in live, so I can see AVRL and Avast on stream. Now here I am on the stream apparently.
I'm tagging Solomon. I'm asking him. I'm sending the
Solomon is
messages.
cooking. Solomon is cooking. I
Solomon,
think Solomon
are
can
you
see it, so-
alive?
Yeah, they're putting it back
Okay.
together. We're missing Jaws,
Putting it
but
back
it's all
together.
good.
We don't need him. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
your camera's not here. But yeah, we'll get Jaws working. Don't worry about it.
Well, what's the next segment?
NA. OWCS NA.
Okay,
Yeah.
go. Connor, go.
Well, first of all, I just want to say, as my first bit of an A before we get into the results, fresh off the presses, it's showing that apparently they will not allow NRG to reschedule because over half their team is playing at DreamHack Atlanta with Haley Welch soon during this time for the groups. And because of that, since it's not an official program, it doesn't seem like they're going to let them move their games around. So I don't know what NRG Shock is going to be doing.
Wait,
for their
Collegiate's not
matches.
on a... Wait, what? Collegiate's not an official program?
It's not an official. No, Collegiate hasn't been an official program for a long time, I believe. I don't think it's been part of TESPA or anything.
Really? Oh,
I don't think
wow.
any of them.
I did not know that. Oh, it's like a licensing
I might be
thing,
wrong though.
I guess.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure like Collegiate. Also, this is like DreamHack Atlanta as part of a Collegiate like thing, so I don't think it's part of any sort of Blizzard official programs. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see if something ends up happening, but. And this is very bad considering the fact they literally just lost to, what is it, Fluffy Dreamland, right?
Yeah. Fluffy Dreamland, yeah.
So-
So,
upset,
do they
so
have
they
to
have to pay an
forfeit?
extra day.
Do they have to forfeit?
Maybe.
What does this
They play
mean?
with subs,
I don't know.
but they
I don't-
will
I mean,
lose.
the only people on the roster that could sub is like wouldn't have to be someone that's currently rostered, so like a coach's. So what? They could play with like
Weeds, I guess.
Albert and Weeds. They could play with Albert and Weeds.
Sign me! I'm not working this weekend. Get me in!
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right, maybe
so that's
I'm too
fresh off the
enthusiastic
presses.
about
there.
That is very bad.
That's fresh off the presses.
Like, that's crazy that they can't especially if another team kind of agrees to, but...
Sign me in, Jake.
Wait, who's
That's
clicking
so
from my
bad.
country?
Jake's coaching, bro. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
that's
He's
right.
on
Yeah,
the
Jake's
official
coaching,
roster
brother.
already.
Well, that's
Wow, that is very, very unfortunate.
That's
That
not
is
good.
that's not right. That does not feel right at all.
yeah. So apparently they might be getting owned, which I do find is
Imagine
a
if
little.
NRG misses Stockholm because of this.
I do
Oh
find
my
this a little
God.
strange because, like, I understand the president of like, hey, like we have a program schedule, we need to follow our program schedule, like blah blah blah. But like, I'm gonna be honest, guys, like, not much fucking else is going on in the OWCS. So like, surely we can work around this one a little bit. Surely there's some options.
First of all, don't blame the admin because the admin is just following the rules and the program.
No,
rules
I
and
know who
what's
this
been set
admin
up.
is. They
Yeah.
were literally my
Yeah.
on Boston in season
I'm
one.
not
They were my
telling you,
manager.
but I'm telling for
season
people
one.
like who are listening and might just react to Wheat's tweet as well. It's not the admin's fault. The admin is just trying to do their job, right? But I agree with you, and I actually have this thought as well. Like I wanted to bring to you with like we have OWCS and we have Face It, and the two programs together in NA and EMEA. If you combine the Face It tournaments with OWCS, actually a lot of content. Like there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of games, 3 seasons of Face It, and you got 4 stages of OWCS. But because like OWCS is so much like this is. Because Face It is a separate program, and because it doesn't get like official support, no marketing, no official broadcast, you have to watch the group stage on Commander X stream. Like, it's just setting the space back. And I really wish there was like additional broadcast support and marketing support to integrate Face It's efforts, because you're partnered with Face It anyway for OWCS. Like come on, like is it really like that big of a like divide? Like come on. So I think it's just kind of like sending the space back. It's a separate issue, but I can't see them not solving this issue.
I imagine almost
probably.
95% of all
thing.
problems are budget problems.
But I'm like,
Yeah, I
it
agree.
would
I
actually
agree.
be like insanely good for the space if we could officially support the Face It seasons on the OW Esports Twitch
Yep.
and
Because like
marketing
that I
and,
view as a separate problem. I'm like, okay, well we have no fucking money, our ass is poor. But I see this of like, well, we could potentially just change the scheduling for the NRG Shock and our one essentially done tournament, our only real tournament that we market and put budget towards.
There's like 30 people of us, or like 300 people of us here left. Like, come on, like just.
I'm like,
make,
at this
make
one,
it
I'm
work.
like, surely
Make it
there has
work.
like, I know you're at. This is giving the unemployed friend that can't make the lunch reservation. It's giving the unemployed friend like, what else you got going on, man? Like you got, it's only this. Like that's all you're doing. Like you're gonna have to like, I don't know. Like that's just a little wild. To me, but
Yeah.
Does NRG have enough points to make it?
with if they lose
they're
this
top
match,
3, but you know Citrus Nation is like right behind them, like 4th or something, right?
I don't think
So-
they're guaranteed, especially with that because they had that loss in
No.
in group. I don't think they're by any means necessarily guaranteed.
Yeah, so circuit points, NRG Shock has 900, Nightmare has 660 on 3rd, TSM has 520, and Citrus has 485.
I mean,
Surely they
it's
qualify.
probably
So-
it's probably unlikely even with this that it would. The worst that would happen is they might go to like get third instead of second in terms of points. But like, I don't think TSM is gonna break into the category. You know, I just don't think TSM
They've been all right,
has-
but like
they've been all right. But I
if
don't
they
think
get
I just don't think
fourth or
they have the
something-
juice. I just don't think they have the juice. They might though. Maybe new TSM could if they improved a bit in this next stage. Like
So-
it's possible.
3rd is 450, 4th is 375. So what's the math there? I don't know. I don't have the standings in front of me.
Fourth
So
is 375. I mean, that would take them to like 12, like 1300 or something. And third was how much? What'd you say it was? What'd you say? What was it?
okay, so let's put it this way: TSM are 385 points behind. So TSM would need 385, and Citrus
How much
would
you get for
need
third?
430.
That sounds like it might be doable if you go back to the points.
If you get 3rd, yeah, the team who gets 3rd, and NRG is not going to be able to place in the playoffs if this theoretically happen.
Right.
So one of the teams might get 600 or 450 points, which would be enough to knock down NRG Shock. You assume maybe Nightmare gets 2nd. So
Yeah.
it's totally doable for TSM and Citrus Nightmare
It's
to get that spot.
possible if TSM has a good
NRG
run,
Shock
they
has
could
to
knock them out.
forfeit, which is a big if, but you know.
But even if they don't have to forfeit, let's say they're missing, even if they're missing like a couple crucial players, that's still like a really tough situation. You know, like there
Yeah.
might not be like a solution there because I don't know if like their collegiate, because like the collegiate players are going to be beholden to the collegiate tournament because like that's what pays their fucking tuition. So
Exactly. All right. Well,
So they have to play the collegiate no matter what.
Reschedule.
they will have to play the collegiate unless either they come to a solution with OWCS or the collegiate roster is like super understanding. But I have a feeling that
they'll
aren't.
figure it out probably.
So-
Or no?
see.
No,
All right.
I'm saying the collegiate teams are probably not super. I would say they have stricter reservations than OWCS to a degree because like their tuition is on the line. Like they have to do these requirements to receive tuition money to go to the school that they're enrolled in, essentially. So like, I don't know, but like I said, I'm not sure of the specifics. But and to me, I feel like the collegiate one would be more strict than OWCS potentially. So,
Yeah.
just for what the means for the players. So I don't know.
One of the teams playing that same day with NRG Shock is TSM, so TSM might not be super willing to cooperate and reschedule because of that.
Yeah,
because they're directly
that's true.
competing.
That is definitely true.
That could be worth keeping in mind. Anyway, before we move on about my rant, Adrian, our beloved Plat Chat members as in chat, no one cares about Face It though, and I'm saying that's the problem, because if people cared about Face It and if that was officially promoted, it would make a big difference in the following and the amount of content for the esport. But anyway, I kind of want to move on unless you have something else to say on that matter.
Well,
The
more
only thing
viewers,
I'll add is like
always better.
people would care. People would care more if it was promoted properly and it was like, you know, it was on the main channel. Then
Yeah.
people would care more. Are we going to talk about the NRG loss, the upset loss?
Oh, yeah, no, I
yeah,
meant
we
moving
are.
on to that. Yeah, like NRG
Oh,
Shock.
yeah, okay, yeah. I
They
got
lost
you.
to they lost to Fluffy Aimers 3-1.
I mean, the Fluffy Aimers have been on a tear as well.
They're
Like,
really good, yeah.
Chime has been so sick. So good. Like, he was playing in
Chime
Face
was
It as
actually
well.
disgusting in that match because I did
Yeah.
watch this one. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
I
stream the
did
group
watch
stages, but
this
I did
one.
watch
That's
it.
good of us.
Yeah. I mean, like
did
I'll
watch
watch it. I'm just not gonna spend my time streaming the group stages because they're
No,
typically
which
a
is fair.
disaster. Annoying.
I think that team, there are some players on that team that's like, holy fuck. Imagine them on like Chime, on like fucking NRG Shock, or like another team like that. I think that team is going to be the next like hidden like dark horse team to like make a decent run in like a bracket. I think that especially Chime is just on an absolute run at the moment, because you need at the moment, I feel with DPS, you need to be like so hyper flexible. With tank, like you also like supports are like right now the most inflexible role, then tank, and then DPS have to be the most flexible because you have to have like a sick Mei, a decent Pharah, a cracked hit scan. But the flex DPS has to play so many different things right now. It feels like, and Chime just covers all of those bases. I think Fluffy Aimers or Fluffy Dreamland, whatever. I think they are the most exciting team in North America currently.
Wow. Yeah, I mean. I think that's a hot take. I respect it because there's like six really enjoyable teams to follow in NA. So it's a great region to follow right now. But
it is.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
What? I mean, what did NRG do here? Like, shouldn't NRG be on paper the much better team?
I mean, they literally just got done. Like, in my personal opinion, I think overall the backline for NRG was getting punished a lot, like a lot. And Chime also had a really, really good performance, like on Mei. Chime was like hitting every right, because Mei right now, she's so strong if you hit right. Like, she's just strong. She's a strong hero, like in general. But if you hit every right click, like Mei is so fucking strong because it's like when you've seen like the images of like when Backbone 2 taps random players across the map or something, like Mei just can do so much. Because she has so much health, she has so much survivability, she synergizes well with like Orisa comps, and if you have a player like Chime who's just hitting every right click, like it literally just beats the other TPS players if you're just hitting every shot.
You know what's funny? What's funny about this situation is like I'm looking at these comps from NA. Just okay, context. I didn't watch these games because I was in Korea, and there's times it's just not going to work out for me unless I'm at home and I want to be a DJ. But there's very minimal Mei in Korea right now. Like basically all the Korean teams, if you watch Crazy Crew Falcons, they don't play Mei, they play Genji here. This exact same comp, probably with an Ashe, sometimes with a Cass, but no Mei, but with the Genji. Proper plays Genji here. So I'm like, dude, NA and EMEA just play Mei here?
It
seems like
the Mei just fits really easily into the comp because she's so survivable and she does a lot of damage. So
I think you have to be like a freak on the Genji, which obviously Proper is, to make that work. Like the value you get from Genji is completely determined by how much of a beast you are and dominant on the server. The Mei just gets so much more done at like a base level because of also how good Wall is right now, especially against people like Brig. Like walling a Brig, Juno is like fucking impossible to lock down, but like walling any kind of Brig or like obviously the tank, it's just so insane. It's also, I think, a scrim thing too, where the top NA and EU teams probably scrimming. In fact, they definitely are scrimming. And then no one is, well, maybe some of the NA teams are scrimming Korean teams, but I doubt it very much because the Koreans are probably just keeping that shit to themselves. So it's just kind of boiled down to like, okay, we're playing this, and then like Korea just plays that. Like, I think it's more of a scrim regional thing as well. It happens in like League of Legends and stuff all the time. Like any kind of game with very split regions, it happens. And I think this is a good example of that.
I would see predict more Genji this weekend. Purely based on the fact that they played in Korea, and someone's like, "Oh,
yeah,
maybe we'll play Korea."
That might be a fair statement.
We didn't have that read, but they had, so it's probably good.
You say that, but I think the level of Mei play, and especially how Mei has been so dominant in like EU and NA for quite some time, I don't know if I agree with that. Korea's always been like, okay, hard dive, like we want to play dive heroes, like we'll play Genji, we'll play Tracer, Monkey everywhere kind of thing. Like EU, not so much. Like it's always been a rush region, right? And Mei fits kind of perfectly into that. So I don't know if I necessarily agree. And even if that does end up happening, I still think the Mei comps might come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I
did watch...
Maybe.
Wow, that's hilarious.
So many puns in this episode, bro.
Yeah. I did watch Heesang and Proper both play Genji in these comps, their POV. And like, the Ray goes kind of crazy with both Dragon Blade and like Shuriken right clicks.
I got done in by that today when I was playing with Scott. The Genji Blade with the Ray is fucked. It's so good. It is unbelievable. Yeah, so it doesn't really shock me. Juno just needs a nerf, man.
Yeah, it does.
Dumb stupid.
And also the way they play the Genji is that they just wait for their Orisa to just push in with Fortify and just make space on the Orisa, and then the Genji's like, okay, well, there's a big tank here, so good luck. My dog is barking, so I was waiting for someone else to say something, but I guess I'll move on. All right.
No,
NA,
I like
anything else on OWCS NA for you?
Hey,
guys?
you want to see? I watched one of the other matches I thought was really funny. It shows how strong Orisa is. It was like I watched the Ramatra Punch versus Nightmare match, and they were on King's Row, and they kept trying to send the Reinhardt the high ground on Ramatra Punch's attack, and Astro would literally just do. Whoa, 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 and just like run into him every time and push him off like 6 times in a row off the high ground, and they have to reset being shot from the fucking pillboxes. Holy
That's
fuck,
Derpy's
it was
rollout.
so funny.
Take the high ground, King's
Derpy's
Row.
rollout,
Fucking funny. Watching the Reinhardt just pop, pop, pop.
There he goes.
And then wait, let's see if there's a and does that, and then they'll fight. They'll do this. Oh, there's the spear. There's the spear. Okay, everyone, let's go back up. We're gonna go back up. Okay, let's rotate on. And this happened for like 2 minutes on the first point.
My God.
It happened for so long. It was so, like it's gonna happen again.
It's gonna happen again.
It gets speared. Okay, a little bit of damage. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's get you off there. Let's get you off there. That's so funny.
He paused there too. He's like, bro, this is so.
Oh,
it
it's
is
so
crazy. And this is what. Okay, going back to the point I said a minute ago about like nerfing Orisa maybe and like changing the character, because like Reinhardt is just so like 2016, bro. You're like, that character is just dog shit.
We make it work.
You can only do one thing at once as Ryan: shield or swing. Orisa, Ram, every other tank can do everything at once.
You keep saying this, and all I ask, okay, so do you want us to be able to swing while shielding? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want that. I want other tanks to be brought down to the fucking level of Ryan. I want tanks to have like.
You want every tank to be boring.
So you can have Juno, but we need Ryan and Winston.
What? What you say?
You can have Juno, which can like fucking heal and damage with the same gun and fly around, and we get to Reinhardt.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I never said that, Johnny. Stop putting words in my mouth, big guy. I want every character in the fucking game to just chill with doing everything at the same time, because holy shit, the power level creep and the fucking I'm Nidalee with 6 fucking buttons. I'm gonna transform. I'm gonna spear. I'm gonna fucking one-shot you from the jungle. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little insane, a little ridiculous.
Yeah,
I just went on a League of Legends tangent.
Yeah, I just did. Yeah, but what I'm saying, overloaded kits. What would be a good overloaded kits thing for League of Legends? Fucking, what's that guy with the fucking 17 weapons? Like that fucker. Whatever.
Oh, no, I don't know who that guy is. That sounds like...
Aphelios. Johnny, carry on. Move the conversation on.
All right. Well, speaking of Ramatra Punch, the Ramatra Punch versus, I guess they're 0-3 Splash now, but they used to be, what were they called? There's something with Tua. It was a Hawk Tua Queen Punch, Queen Joke.
Oh, yeah.
Shout Tua.
Shout Tua.
Yeah. It was a 5-map banger. Junker Queen versus Reinhardt. Great series. Love that. One of the matches of all time. Toronto Defiant. They didn't have Danny, or they didn't have Sugar Free for 2 maps because of personal reasons.
Can we speak about that?
So
can I
Danny
speak to
was
this
subbed
game?
in, and they did the reverse of Chikigami. Yeah.
It was obviously, I think Sugar Free was dealing with some stuff, or like some they were trying to get him online. And my God, this was like Shikigami are like, oh my God, we can win. They're just playing Danny on Torb. We can actually just win against Toronto Defiant, like beat their streak, like actually destroy them. And then as soon as Sugar Free comes in, he's just killing 6 every fight.
It was
spawning another character in the game. Every fight he's killing 6. It was absurd. Like I can almost feel Shikigami just in the lobby, in the voice comms, just their souls depart from their body, depart from their existence as they see Sugar Free load in. Saying that though, I still think Sonjun and Taejong are fucking ridiculous. Like they showed up in a big fucking way in this game, despite obviously it being a reverse sweep as soon as Lenny stepped in.
Yeah, it was honestly hilarious. It was the most predictable reverse sweep ever when you saw Sugar Free loading.
And that was the funny thing, I think. I think that was the most funny thing about it, because it's just like, bro, come on. Like, this isn't even fair. Give them the win. They just
after the second map, there was like a huge pause, like a long pause. It was for like 15, 20 minutes. And then Sugar Free loads in, and Shikigami are like, how were they able to like pause for like the match 20 minutes for Sugar Free to get back, and then the reverse of that? I don't know. I don't think they generally complain about that, but they probably did. Where like I could see them being a bit salty after that, because it was a huge pause for Sugar Free to get back.
Yeah.
And they didn't get the win.
That's favoritism. That's OWCS favoritism.
So true.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
Finally, the corruption runs deep. We'll be waiting your response, Sean Miller.
Oh my god. But I think that's a pretty solid recap over NA. Citrus Nation. I went 2-0 as
And
well.
it was
So
fun
that
this
was
week. And it was really fun. Thing.
Yeah, it was fun indeed. All right, so we got about 40 minutes to run through some extra stuff here. Let's get to AVRL's favorite part of the podcast. Jason Schreier. Jason Schreier, is that his name? I don't know.
Yeah,
he's obviously
right.
going on a big kind of like online tour here, promoting his book, which is about Blizzard or something like that. So he's doing like Ask Reddit, EMEA, and then he's doing like articles. He's doing everything, and just putting out stuff that happened in Blizzard from like 2018 to 2024. So yeah, we've got 3 separate kind of like quote unquote leaks. They're not leaks because I guess they're leaks. I don't freaking know. He's a journalist. And so let's start with the first one, which was that Bobby Kotick wanted a separate team working on Overwatch 2. He saw the success of Overwatch and was like, let's make a separate team so we can keep working on Overwatch 1, keep working on Overwatch 2. And accordingly to Jason Schreier, they were like, here we go. Should I just read a quote? I should just read a quote probably because I'll cover everything. All right. It's about, I don't know what the original question is because they don't say the original question, but here's the post anyway on Competitive Overwatch. It's a quote. Yes, this is covered extensively in the book, but here's the short version. Overwatch 1 was a huge success and Bobby Kotick was thrilled about it. So thrilled, in fact, that he asked board of directors to give Mike Morhaime a standing ovation during one meeting. But following Overwatch 1's release, Team 4 began to run into a bit of a problem. They had too much work to do. They had to simultaneously, 1, keep making new stuff for Overwatch 1, which almost accidentally turned into a live service game, which reported on in the past. They didn't plan for Overwatch to be live service. Going on. Number 2, work on Overwatch 2, which was Jeff Kaplan's baby and would have brought more players into the universe via PvE. And 3, help out with the ever-growing Overwatch League. Kotick's solution to this problem was to suggest that Team 4 hire more people, hundreds more people, like this Call of Duty factory, and start a second team to work on Overwatch 2 while the old team works on Overwatch 1 or vice versa. And Kaplan and Chago Sony were resistant to this because they believed pretty strongly in the culture they built. More people can sometimes lead to more problems and less efficient development, and it led to all sorts of problems as the years went on. Is that the end of the quote? There's nothing else, right, Solomon?
That's the end of the quote.
Yeah.
From that excerpt.
So.
Yeah.
I kind of understand that stance from Kaplan though, like the culture that they built up around the game, like internally, is pretty spot on. Like, you've made this game together, and like you want to continue kind of supporting it. Well, look at that. Yeah, look at it. Our diorama.
What did he get? What did he get?
Dude, did you down a Coke Zero in like 10 minutes?
No, his diet. What is that again?
It's
a Coke Zero.
This is a Coke Zero caffeine free. There's no caffeine in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay? No caffeine in this bad boy. And yeah, I chug them, okay? Also, takes me to another topic, by the way, real quick before we get into this. I saw, unironically... No. This is going to literally give this 3 minutes. 3 minutes, just let me rant. 3 minutes. Unironically, the other day, there was a video going around of some trans women doing cocaine, and then people were like, listen, you guys can't talk to me about about the negative health effects of cocaine because you guys drink a bunch of Coke Zero. Unironically arguing that Coke Zero is somehow less healthy than cocaine. And I was seeing like so many threads about this, and people being like, yeah, like you're drinking Coke Zero, you're dying just the same as me when I do cocaine. I'm like, brother, you guys are out of your mind if you're trying to say that cocaine is somehow more healthy or equally as healthy as Coke Zero. Okay, that's it. Go on.
What was that about?
Podcast
That's a good
intermission.
one. That's a good one. You sound like ZP out here trying to.
It's just been festering in my brain.
It's just been bothering you.
It's just like that, and JD Vance saying, yeah. I have a bunch of topics that I can talk about right now.
Do you know any of these people?
No, I just saw it on social. It was just a For You page, and then because I interact with, I just have a lot. What, Cat?
He works for ZP now. He works for Big Coke.
I don't work with ZP anymore, actually, to be fair. It's just a topic I have in my brain. It's like JD Vance saying his sons, 6 and 4 years old, eat 14 eggs every day. Which means that he's eating. They are having 8 dozen eggs a week between 2 children. So they're spending nearly per month $300 on only eggs. The Vance family is spending $4,000 a year on eggs. Okay, that is also fucking ridiculous. But okay, we need to. Sorry, now
Where do you get this from? You need to stop fucking dabbling in the Elon Musk algorithm.
I'm off
you need
the-
to
I'm off
this
the-
is poison.
He says, he's like, oh yeah, Johnny's watching too many podcasts. And then this guy is like on TikTok watching
For
this
you
bullshit.
page.
It's different. It's different.
like,
My media consumption is approved. Okay, his media consumption is not. Okay,
Oh,
you have to understand.
Who approved this? Who approved
Who
this
approved
fucking
it?
nonsense?
The tastemaker. The tastemaker.
Oh,
okay,
the
let's
host
do
of
the
the podcast.
tastemaker.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Big Coke, big Coke.
I
We
was on the
can
For
spend
You
more
tab
time on
today.
this if we want. We can spend
And I'm
more
like,
time
I'm
on
not
this.
getting any
I want
award
to talk about
stuff.
drama. I want to talk about the
Maybe
drama.
we should talk about the drama. All
So
right.
so
Separate Overwatch developer teams.
So this I want to talk specifically about this post for sure because a little bit of self-promotion. I ended up tweeting about this. I didn't think this was going to blow up, but this ended up being like my biggest tweet ever, maybe. There's like 360,000 viewers. So I don't know how this tweet blew up, but basically, I'm like,
You don't know
this is-
how it
is
blew
it
up?
recent?
Yes, I know exactly how it blew up because you targeted on the drama, AVRL. You shit talked Jason Kaplan, and you said it in the
Jason
Apple voice.
Kaplan.
Or
Like
whatever,
Jason Kaplan.
Jeffrey Kaplan.
Wrong guy.
And he said it in your stereotypical Avril voice where you say it in like you're doing the most confrontational text possible. So that's how it blew up. In all three of them.
Wow, this is a lot of
Confrontational
heat.
text.
Massive
That's
Jeff
just the way you
Kaplan L.
program it.
Can we
This
read the
dude
tweet, please?
was adored by the public for being funny on camera for devlogs while making shit decisions like this and around balanced philosophies in private to the detriment of the game. He did not deserve the public praise he got and still gets from
How did
casuals
this blow
to this
up?
day.
Local man asked, how did this blow
Dude,
up?
this is what we complain about on Plat Chat, like years. And here you go. Well,
He's
I mean,
going crazy with this one. Funnily enough, I did see the Reddit post as well, and like a lot of people were kind of agreeing. And it's like the slow like needle of like Jeff is the greatest thing to ever exist to like he kind of fucked our game like big time around the time where zero content was being released. It's pretty interesting actually, and I think
Like-
now that this kind of thing has come out, people are more willing to accept it. I think Jeff probably a great guy, like did a lot for the game and shit, but like the decisions behind the scenes, especially later in the life cycle, pretty bad actually.
I want to explain my tweet a little bit because there's only so much you can fit into one tweet. But the position I have on that is because like Kodak did a lot of bad shit, but Kodak suggesting him increasing the size of the team was actually probably the right move. And I can prove it's the right move because that's where we are today. In Overwatch 2, we have hundreds more developers than we had in Overwatch 1, and we have faster pipeline of production. We have quicker patches, more content per season, more events, more collabs, more everything, and we're doing it quicker, and we're reacting to things that are happening. We're doing more hot fixes and changing shit quicker, more communication from the dev team than we've ever had. I mean, you can't do this. You can't operate a live service game without a giant team. That's just the truth. You can't be Overwatch 1 thinking, oh yeah, we'll just do Overwatch 1, which is pseudo live service now by accident. And oh, by the way, we're also going to make Overwatch 2, which might not necessarily have been fully Jeff's fault, because I'm pretty sure Kodak was the one that was behind that. But that aside, you can't be making a brand new game while trying to support your original game on a bare bones team without expanding your team. Like, mathematically, it doesn't work. I don't care about the cultures. Like, what culture would you? Is this a breast milk culture from Blizzard that you're trying to save? Come on, motherfucker! I don't give a shit about the culture. You
Okay,
need to
well,
increase your
okay,
dev team.
that's a little unfair. That's a little
I
unfair.
actually
Team
kind
4
of-
was kind
yeah.
of Team 4 was
I
technically not really part of that controversy. So
I
that's
kind
that
of
one's
disagree
unfair.
on the culture point. I kind of get it from his perspective because you have built this team and your union in like a vision, right? Everybody's kind of vision, like, oh, this is the kind of game universe we want to kind of build. I totally get it. I think the way Jeff Kaplan kind of saw and like created Overwatch was like not a live service. It was just here's the game and that's it. But the thing is, the PvE was his always main thing, right? And it was like supposed to be a PvE game, and then they made it into a PvP thing, and it kind of went from there. And it was like, oh wait, the PvP is just sick. Oh, we do the PvE thing. It's like kind of meh because, well, it was released at the wrong time, you could argue. But I think multiplayer in general is always going to be and capturing much more audiences than it would have done like many years ago, you know? And I think maybe Jeff's stuck in the past somewhat because making a multiplayer game like
That's
that
still a mistake.
and dropping it, sure, it is a mistake. But like making a multiplayer game, dropping it like that and not expecting everybody to be like, you need to balance the game. We need more shit. Like this multiplayer, you're going to shut the service down in a couple of years? Like what's going to happen? We need this game to be a live service model because that's how every other fucking game is these days. Otherwise it's just going to fail. And Overwatch almost did because nothing was happening with the fucking game.
Yeah, it was a couple
What I'm
of years
saying
there,
is like,
but like nothing.
oh, it's like, oh,
no
it's
new
like,
heroes in
cool,
2 years.
Right.
We had 2 years of no content. So what? That you can retain your culture? So we had nothing for 2 years. I'm sorry, that's not a good deal. As a consumer of the game, I don't care. Like, dude, they should not have abandoned the game for 2 years to retain the. I just don't buy it. I just don't care at all. It's like, oh wow, you want to retain the culture? Don't give a fuck. Genuinely, don't give a fuck. You left the game dead for 2 years. No, don't care about the culture.
Well, they
Sorry.
wanted to create.
That's my take.
They had the original like PVE shit, right? And then it turned into the PvP. And then it was like, okay, now we can go back and we can do PvE, right? We can do it proper, like we can do this, and that's why the game had like this fuck off drought. And then it was almost not realizing how much of a success Overwatch was and how big this fucking game is. And if you could just continue to support it, maybe we could have got to the point where we are now a lot quicker.
I think it's more complicated than it's made out to be to a degree, personally,
Yes.
because I think that like, I mean, 100% Avril's right. Jeff Kaplan was Reddit Chungus Wholesome 100, and people loved him during that time, and it was not correct. Because he was a human being, not fucking God. And secondly, like you don't ever have the full picture, and a lot of people present themselves as like, oh, like, like I'm so great, or like I'm such a forefront of a popular product, so thus I'm really good, or like I'm really good at my job, or I'm a really good person type of thing, right? They conflate that a lot. So like Jeff was Reddit's favorite son. And whack when Overwatch was popular. So, like, obviously got undue praise just because of that, even though stuff that maybe he didn't even do or even was potentially detrimental to. The content drought was really bad. We were all there for it. Content drought was disastrous. It was terrible for the game. It hurt the game. It was
when
fucking
Valorant released
awful.
for 2 years.
Like, it literally killed the momentum of the game. And we had to rebuild all the developer trust and all the thing, and like it's why Overwatch essentially is memed on to this day, is because of that content drought. It's literally the content drought and the lack of balancing and things that occurred during that time that essentially puts Overwatch in the space where it can be a great game currently and be very successful, but people are like still clowning on it to this day. It's literally from that. Like that's from Jeff's failures. But we don't really know what the alternative is, right? Because like Bobby Kotick is a demon made flesh. So like I don't know if like he could have been offering like, oh, here's a team size for you, but like in return, like we are going to take all the principles of the game of Overwatch you liked, and like since you're so focused on the PvP, this is your baby. The PvE team is like they're just gonna their goal is to be producing gotcha game level monetization or like updates or like doing things that are like essentially could destroy a lot of the foundational balance principles of Overwatch, or like the foundational like things that made Overwatch a success originally. Like we don't know what was being offered. We don't know the level of control that was being placed there. So I think it's like tough to call. I do think inherently though, Jeff Kaplan obviously made a mistake, right? The mistake was like, you can't let your game that's such a commercial success, because he stumbled into it. Like, because also the Overwatch as a game was a mistake of success. Like it was clearly a talented team, but Jeff Kaplan wanted to make an MMO. He wanted to make a fucking MMO. It was called Titan, and he made Overwatch instead. He's like, holy shit, this is really popular. But it's not what he wanted. That's why he wanted to make
And then he wanted to make Titan again.
He wanted to make Titan too.
Right.
He just wanted to make Titan the whole time. He never wanted to make Overwatch. He wanted to make Titan. That was the whole thing. The bro fucking stumbled into it. It's like all things in life. You get lucky. Everyone here is where they're at here because we're lucky. None of us are talented. We're lucky. Okay? Literally all of us are on the podcast because they got lucky.
Okay, buddy. Okay,
Jeff Kaplan, the same thing. Jeff Kaplan, the same fucking thing. Bro.
Just by the way.
Same thing.
Like what we're saying, it's like, oh, we don't know what would happen if they increase the team size. But it's like, but we do, because that's where we are now.
Okay,
Overwatch 2's dev team is hundreds
entirely
of
different
developers more than it was.
entirely different management team philosophy though. Jeff Kaplan.
I'm scared of is, or not scared of, but what I'm kind of thinking when they said like, would like Call of Duty, it's like, are you going to hire a completely separate studio to like do PvE missions for the official Overwatch 2 PvP side? Like, how's that gonna work? Because the Call of Duty machine, which they referenced, is they have 3 studios which like do a game every 3 years. So would that have been good? Like, I don't know. Like that.
But also like think about like
we don't
if
have
the
all
PvP
the facts on the table. We don't have all
even
the facts
if
on
the
the
PvP
table.
were to occur,
so.
let's say the PvP still gets being worked on too, and they have an entirely separate team, and Jeff Kaplan's like, I don't want to be involved, and like I got to put all my. What happens is like, okay, PvP continues to be updated, then PvP gets released, and the two visions of the game are like drastically different, and now you have to reconcile that from like a game design philosophy standpoint too.
That's just poor leadership.
Yes,
Your
that's the
game
point. It
director
is. Yes, I've agreed with you. I've agreed with you, Cap.
Okay.
I've agreed with you. It's bad leadership. I'm simply saying that like we don't know all the things that Kaplan potentially could have been like. Also unrelated to this, I had heard like at the time, part of Team 4's size for why it remained small was that there was direct monetary benefits to them remaining small, and that like they got like supposedly, obviously this is not, don't know if this is true, completely do not take this as fact. This is simply just a rumor that Team 4 remained a small
Overwatch
dev
Cavalry
team.
tomorrow. Sorry.
Is that Team 4 remained a very small dev team is because they received profit sharing for the game. So, like, part of the reason why they wanted to keep team size small as well is because they literally made more money the smaller the team was. So, like, that could also be part of, like, the reasoning attached to that is unrelated, right? Like, part of this culture, my culture being like, I make a lot of money. That's my culture.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, we found out.
That's a good culture.
Culture was just money at the end of the day. Yeah, there it is.
But it's like, dude, I have good takes all the time. But I do agree fundamentally. Jeff Kaplan stumbled in the success of the game. He was probably a great, like, he knew how to make games very good. He wanted to make Titan. He didn't get Titan. He got lucky with Overwatch. His team was good. His culture was probably pretty good internally, but they fucked up and didn't expand the team. But also, there's still all sorts of hosts of other issues we didn't know.
We have 2 more things to get to, Kevin, so keep it short.
That's the end of it.
Okay, here's the last thing. Here's the last thing I'll say. That here's the pipeline. This is a lot of hindsight 2020, so whatever. But I'll say it anyway. Here's you have a game director, Jeff Kaplan, who oversees the entire thing to make sure. Okay, I just don't buy the whole like, oh, but you get a different team, and what if they just make a totally different game? It's like, no. You're a game director. You oversee both teams to align the vision together. Maybe your focus is more PvE favored because you're Jeff Kaplan. You're the PvE guy. Great. Aaron Keller takes over the PvP. You focus more time on the PvE. Aaron Keller's your guy anyway because he's your assistant game director the whole time. He's not going to make a completely different game to you. You're still under the same umbrella of making the same game. You're just more focused on PvE. He's more focused on PvP. You lead 2 separate teams but under the same vision. Like, what are we talking about?
I think it's easier said than done though, because like PvP, you're looking at very different design philosophies. It's like why did Nate Nanzer and the Overwatch League Esports team not just make all the regions have like all the same parity and like all this? Like, even though they're all working towards the same goal, it's like it's really when you have a huge scope. It's not easy for a leader to like inherently be like a god and know everything about the project and like completely align everything if they're not personally
that's
involved.
Crazy. That's crazy because they have bigger games. That's crazy because they have. I'm pretty sure the WoW team is like 1,000 developers and they somehow do this shit.
Yeah, but I think they also had a culture philosophy where going into WoW they wanted to make WoW. The Overwatch team didn't want to make Overwatch. They wanted to make
They didn't want to make Overwatch. Yeah, right.
I mean,
so and that's why we're at now. They've swapped it all out. It's not the same people.
Between all the content in that game, Johnny plays. You have PvP in that game, so you have a bunch of shit in that game that all needs to be aligned into one vision. All I'm saying is this is what other studios do, but it's apparently impossible for Jeff and Team 4. Apparently, it's impossible for Blizzard, but everyone else does it. Okay. I don't buy it. I just don't. I personally don't buy it.
You can't use WoW in that argument. WoW is so different in that regard.
But also,
bro.
we don't have to buy it. Jeff Kaplan got lucky. You don't have to buy it. They weren't prepared to do it. Jeff Kaplan wasn't that good of a leader. He was a fantastic. They made a great game. They had a great team. It's just clearly they was fucked up. The conception of it was fucked up. Like all the factors behind it was like this game is essentially the Big Bang of fucking video games. Wow, how did it happen? We don't know. We don't fucking know how it happened. And that's essentially what Overwatch is.
Big Bang of video games.
We don't like that's literally I think you're looking at like you're correct, but also you don't realize that like this whole thing is a fucking mess and it shouldn't exist. It's shocking that it does.
Yeah, no.
If we had the dev team we had now back then, it would be a very different fucking timeline. Very different timeline. The dev team right now, they're fully focused on PvP and making the game the best it can possibly be. And I think most people would agree that at this very moment in time, the dev team has been the best it's ever been, just in Overwatch, like straight up.
I love this past
with
week.
that vision, with that one vision.
Yeah,
of
there was
PvP.
There was a Reddit post this past week, and it was like the game is in a pretty good state now? Question mark. Almost like they were like confused that it was like in a good state or something.
It's crazy,
just like,
bro.
Yeah, it's in a pretty good state.
Oh, I've not played in a few years, bro. Do we still have only Echo? Like, you know, it's
Yeah. Actually, I might have made it up to my question mark. I need to go back and look at that. But it was in that regard, just like the game is in a pretty good state. So yeah, the game is in a pretty good state. It's fun. Anyway, we need to move on here. Next on, I think the more logical league to move to next is talking about some of the finances and stuff like that. There was a Bloomberg article, which is a book excerpt from Jason Schreier's book about this whole Activision Blizzard thing. Goes into depth about Mike Morhaime and Bobby Kotick's relationship. But I'm strictly going to read the Overwatch and Overwatch League stuff here, and we can kind of react to that. So there's a few tidbits on Overwatch and Overwatch League. Let me zoom this in. Oh, there we go. Blizzard hired Sursa, who, I don't know, I don't know who Sursa is. Anyway, in 2015, as its first CFO, so that's Chief Finance Officer, He said he wanted to build a world-class finance department and begin bringing in new employees with Ivy League MBAs and backgrounds at firms like McKinsey & Co. Suddenly, finance people who'd otherwise been relegated to the background with their fixtures in strategy meetings, asking why Hearthstone, a Magic the Gathering-esque mobile game, wasn't pushing players to buy card packs more often, and why Overwatch, an online shooting game, wasn't selling maps and heroes to generate extra revenue. The company was doing well. Its revenue was $2.4 billion in 2016 thanks to the continued success of World of Warcraft and runaway hit Overwatch. Still, Sursa seemed perplexed why Blizzard was maintaining expensive projects with low profit margins, such as the annual BlizzCon event. Blizzard managed to explain that having their own convention engendered loyalty from customers and employees. Sursa suggested they kill it, say people who attended these meetings. ... Nate Nasser, who became commissioner of the Overwatch League, had suggested charging potential owners $250,000 to establish a team. Kotick said they should aim bigger, $20 million per franchise. Everyone was shocked. $20 million? Most of the world didn't even know what Overwatch was, but Kotick wanted to recruit billionaires who already owned sports teams and didn't want to underprice the opportunity. Over the next year, Activision Blizzard hired executives from the NFL and the NBA to staff its esports division, largely overlooking the expertise within Blizzard's existing esports group. In 2017, Activision absorbed Blizzard's consumer products division, responsible for selling gear and striking deals with outside companies such as Lego. Kotick wanted to make hats, sweatshirts, and mugs based on the Overwatch League. We were hiring people left and right, says Matt Beecher, who was Blizzard's vice president of the consumer products. It was just wild.
That one comment, the BlizzCon comment especially, to me, I'm like, holy
So
brain damage.
Oh my God.
I have never seen someone, you could hit your head on a curb 17 times and you would still have a more cohesive thought in your fucking mind than what was said probably in that boardroom. Like, killing something that has a low profit margin, guys, my bad. Let's sell a map pack from COD Modern Warfare 2 back from 2012. Why aren't we making more money? Like, it's just, I had this rant actually on my stream like a few days ago, and it's, if you're in a creative endeavor, game, like making games, art, any kind of like creative environment, and I think gaming is the obvious one because it's like one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, like media entertainment kind of franchises at this moment in time in the world, that shit should not be publicly traded, because you get these pricks that come in and go, unless we are not scoring 100 to 200% profit every fucking year, and hella, yeah, they're coming after me right now. They're sending the fucking cops.
That's the Blizzard police, buddy. Get ready to
the
go.
Blizzard police. If we're not like getting all these profits every single year, it's net growth. We have to fucking expand. Like,
dividends.
It kills creativity, because all you're doing is just trying to please shareholders. And making games is a creative endeavor, which it's funny because this is what was taught to me in university when I was doing my degree, was you're going to get this degree, you're going to learn skills, you're going to go into an environment where it's all passion-based. You will get paid less. If you went to IBM and did it, you would get paid double, triple. But you're doing it for the passion. And should those companies be publicly traded? Probably fucking not, because then you get, like I said, these pricks that come in and it's all about profit, don't give a shit about customers, buy maps, buy heroes, buy card packs, fuck BlizzCon for having a whatever profit margin. If it was profitable, bro, good. Like, holy shit, it doesn't have to be like 200%. We have to make $700 per person per ticket, you know? It's just so unbelievably out of touch. But then what do you expect? Pricks that go to fucking finance and shit. They come into a creative space. What do they do? What do they want?
MBAs. If you see the word MBAs, disaster.
Money.
Disaster.
Yeah.
Disaster class.
It's just so fucked, bro.
Also, I respect Jason Schreier so much for essentially turning himself into a book mogul by just hate watching Overwatch. Like, his literally whole thing is like,
yeah,
let's all talk about how much Overwatch.
Wild.
Let's all talk about how much Blizzard fucking sucked during the Kotick era, and then like everyone's like, Jason Schreier, we are ready to make you a millionaire. We will all be purchasing your book simply because we do not like Bobby Kotick. So like, everyone get in here. Like, I respect that a lot from Jason Schreier. That's Hayden taken to the next degree. Good journalism, but also Hayden. And I respect that. That's it. That's all I got. I mean, what is
this is just what happens. This entire situation is just what happens when like the finance people come in and yeah, like Jack said, it's just like they ruin it. They ruin creative endeavors, and so none of it surprised me. It was very disappointing, and none of it surprised me.
Yeah,
I think my favorite thing about all finance talk when you look at that there is that like in general, especially the BlizzCon point in particular, I think is the most salient, like Jack said, because it's literally like, it's essentially saying like, because I think like thinking about the monetization of a game and being like, how do we improve the monetization of a game? Even though you could argue it's very anti-art, and it was definitely a swap from like what I think these like single release systems used to be for games of like, we release a game, we release a sequel, right? Like that's it. There's not this live service type of element to a degree. Like, yes, but like I could at least argue like, well, you're going to produce more content. You're going to produce stuff that's like going to still impact the consumer because you're looking to gain revenue. But BlizzCon in particular being like, we don't need BlizzCon anymore because we don't like, why do fans need to have an event? Why do fans need to associate, like have a positive brand affinity to our product? Like, why do fans need to have that? Is like, it's essentially a very much a microcosm of like, I think in general, it's very much an American sickness that has spread throughout all of like every industry. Because like, as Americans, guess what? It's in our blood. Okay, it's in our blood. As an American, it's in our blood. We love to make things worse. We love to make things worse from a consumer standpoint. It's in our blood. We love it. It's a disease. It's a deep sickness. And that is what we have done as Americans here, is that we have done this to video games by essentially saying like, but fuck those fans. Fuck those fans. We do not give a shit. Give us the money. So it's that is by far the most egregious, I think, of those elements.
I agree.
You could focus it on the buy-in for the Overwatch League fees, and yeah, that's a whole separate conversation, but we've talked that one to death. We've talked that one to death already.
50,000 per franchise. No, let's make it 20 million.
But imagine, I will say, just imagine the alternate history if the Overwatch League buy-ins had been like 250K versus like 20 mil. Like the alternate history here, we would probably still have Overwatch League right now if the buy-ins had been 250,000.
Yeah, we'd have a lower peak, but it'd obviously be more sustainable. Like we wouldn't have the same resources, wouldn't have the same budget and everything.
Was the buy-in the reason for how everything panned out?
Yes.
You think so? I don't know.
Yes, almost 100%. I actually agree.
It was 20 million for season 1. It wasn't like 30 for like season 2.
30, 40.
It got up,
right? 30 to 40 for season 2. Now, not technically, a lot of those teams did not pay that full amount because we paused franchise fees in 2020. But it was still for a lot, especially for a lot of original teams, we're talking like millions of dollars of expenditure there. So like if we take down their expenditure costs from like millions and millions to like, you know, maybe like $1 million or $2 million essentially over the span of a couple of years, like we look at a very different financial situation for teams, because like teams themselves were also pushing for the, you know, the dissolution, and like to a degree of like a lot of teams were pushing for the dissolution. Not every team, obviously. It wasn't a majority like thing, but like a lot of teams were like, we don't have belief in the product essentially. And also much less money going around is like, you know, I think it incentivizes the Overwatch League system itself. They felt like they were, I think at the time, like when Nate and Andrew's season 1 Overwatch League occurred, they thought they were fucking Mansa Musa. They thought they were marching with the fucking caravan of gold through fucking North Africa. Like that, they had fucking more wealth than any esports thing had ever seen in the history of mankind rolling through those doors. And I think that was like also that was a detriment. That was a detriment to the league, was thinking we had infinite money glitch, because they didn't.
Nate Nasser jumped ship at the right time. He knew.
I know, but the point being is that like after they shouldn't have been. They could only do that because they thought they had infinite money. They could only spend that much money because they thought they had infinite money.
TikTok infinite money glitch.
And so like I think that was like, I think that if the buy-in fees had been like the potentially proposed couple 100,000, we would have seen. Who knows if it would have stayed Overwatch League, right? Like that's still like a very tough product.
Valiant, like 3 years in, they were like, we're never recouping this money, so like screw it, you know, like
so like, but you could theoretically still have another 2 or 3 years of Overwatch League easily. You could have potentially pivoted. Who knows what it would look like if teams weren't like, holy shit, I'm down all this money, right? Like, and also Overwatch League and Blizzard themselves being like, what the fuck, all my money is gone, like all this stuff that is just snowballed from these initial really high valuations.
And also you'd get the, you know, endemic esports orgs to participate in that, because Kotick was, you know, in that quote, allegedly, Kotick was like, no, I don't want your regular esports teams. I want the billionaires. I want, And so, you know, they would have taken an educated, different approach to revenue, you know, and dealing with esports, you know, knowing the business from inside out. So instead, there were multiple teams that we didn't like. Fnatic, you know, they didn't own a team. And TSM,
Liquid.
Well, you know, looking forward, like definitely some of those teams, like in the long run, probably might not. Like there was conventional wisdom associated with this, because, like, being honest, you know, you look at TSM. Did you really want TSM in your league? Like, did you really, when you think about it in the long term?
I mean, back then, probably
but like the thing is that like all those, the problem is the esport teams were much better. The only difference that was made from my side is that it would have made Blizzard potentially view this as a more like sustainable thing. the thing is, all the esport orgs are also fucked. All the esport orgs are fucked too. There's like, it's all fucked top to bottom, but they're less fucked than like your conventional organizations you brought in that had like real standards and practices and revenue behind them. And Blizzard could have been like, well, at least we didn't spend like $30 jillion in the first year of the Overwatch League, but versus like if we spent like $1 million in 1 year, we could be like, we could do this as a wider organization. We could find some way to like make this work, right? Like we could put this in this minor part of the budget. But
yeah,
I mean, to me, it was just unsustainable.
Not even to speak about like broader like macro financial conditions, and like suddenly when like it got expensive to borrow money because they raised interest rates, then
yeah. Which is also why like a Blizzard, traditional esport organizations were also still going to be a bad pick in a league system, because like in a system that they envisioned, just because of the fact that like they also have no money.
Yeah. A lot of esport orgs have just been getting like VC investments, and people have bought shares and they use that money to like grow their business, and then suddenly there's less people who want to invest in your team, there's less liquid money going around, and
if they had done like NBA 2K League but good, stuff could have been very different.
Okay. There is one more here topic as well, which, oh boy, have we been talking about this for a long time. It's a very small Reddit comment by Jason Schreier, but it's about Netflix shows for Blizzard shows, and the comment says,
so sad,
the book reveals that they had a series in development with Netflix for Starcraft, Overwatch, and Diablo. But and it's a link to a Variety page which says Activision Blizzard sues Netflix for poaching their, was it CFO? Poaching their
yes, CFO.
Yeah, so Netflix poached someone from Activision Blizzard, and they sued them, and Netflix said we're not making shows.
That is so sad. The one thing that Blizzard has kind of been lacking on, let's be real, is the fucking lore. And like, people do like the comics, the shorts are like unbelievable, and then we don't get some sort of like, I don't want to say it could be like Arcane-esque, but in partnership with Netflix, it very well could have been like this big series, a celebration of Overwatch, the characters, and how incredibly diverse and everything is in. Oh man, it could have been so sick. And then Diablo could have been this dark, like hella gritty, like, well, I don't know if it would done in an animation style, maybe like an anime style, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. There you go. They're coming out with a new one, but it's not done with the same studio. Unlucky. And Starcraft could have been this sci-fi kind of epic thing. Like, oh man, it's just so disappointing, because some of these like universes, not some of, all of the universes that Blizzard creates are just fucking incredible, but they're just not expanded on enough, and especially Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big disappointment. There's a separate universe where we have Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 development teams, PvE and PvP missions. We have the Overwatch League still because it's sustainable, and we have Netflix shows. Netflix shows who's probably hitting around the same time that PvE are getting released for the game. Yeah. So,
man,
what could have been?
It could have gone crazy.
Yeah. Diablo was supposed to have a show as well, I think. I think it was like, it was more than just Overwatch, but
yeah.
Like, it's the thing that's really upsetting is like when you see how big Arcane was for League of Legends and how big Cyberpunk Netrunner, that show was, Edge Runners was for Cyberpunk, especially for a game where like Cyberpunk had such a shit start and it bounced back. I think partially, at least, due to that anime. Also, they put a lot of effort into the DLC and bringing the game back. But that anime did a lot of work for them as well in terms of just like public profile. We missed out big time.
Blu-ray. I bought it from fucking Japan, bro. Wow. It's not even released in the West, man.
Oh
also,
my god!
Trading cards as well, like a sealed booster box.
Bro is so collectible pilled.
I'm so collectible pilled, and I have
it's this and fish, guys. Collectibles and fish is what he's into.
Jack loves collecting.
Yeah.
He's like a fucking dung beetle.
A fish driving a collectible car, that would be Jack's ultimate collectible dream. Anyway, we missed out big time, and now we don't know. Are we ever going to have a show? Who the hell knows? This is especially sad considering we don't have PvE anymore, really. So this would have been an insanely good way for Overwatch to expand its lore and content in a different direction to sort of continue the story, given that we don't even have PvE anymore. So it's doubly sad for that reason.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we all know that there's tons of potential in Overwatch, but PvE, it's not coming back. And, I still think that Blizzard could work with, Amazon. Do you want to make a TV show about Warcraft or Overwatch or anything like that? Like, the franchises are just sitting there. And, like, Warcraft is doing all right, I guess. Can we still make something happen? 2025? Can we maybe get something going?
Yeah,
Amazon, you're spending so much money on Amazon. Come on, guys.
Probably.
Let's do a collab.
It's got to be with someone else because like the bridge looks like it's burnt with Netflix. I still think they just like fuck it. Oh, you got your CFO poached. It's like okay, that's sure, fine. Like fuck it, make the anime anyway.
Dude, we're bought by Activision. Anyway. They made a Halo show, which I think got cancelled immediately. But
it was not good, bro.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
The people that made the Halo show,
Overwatch and Warcraft, is a way better franchise than Halo.
The people that made the Halo show, by the way, were bragging in an interview that they don't want to use the source material and never played the game.
That's the same with The Witcher. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it.
Dead.
And the House
of
the
Witcher is based on the book, but
bro,
yeah,
they never want to do that.
We need a show. I agree. We need a show.
Show is necessary. Show is necessary. IP is necessary. I mean, who knows? I mean, it could still happen. We just might not know about it now. This is only a current project that was existing. We don't know about any projects that are currently technically could be happening. Right, you know, like we have no clue about there. I think at the end of the day, you just look at it and it's like, well, there's just management. Management does it again. You know, management. I think that's the moral of the story for all of this is that like at the end of the day, management is typically the one that causes the majority of the problems with everything because that's like who's in charge of making the decisions, right? And they have all the power, and I think that's a, you know, you get paid millions of dollars because you're supposed to make something good. And so if
people in chat are very upset. To be perfectly clear, I did not watch the Halo show, and yes, I'm aware that it sucked, but I'm just saying you can redeem it. You know, there was a Warcraft movie. Learn from that because that also movie was not very good. You can make something better.
I haven't even watched it, man. I love WoW.
I think I saw like 20 minutes of it ages ago. What up, Avril? I
have the solution. We okay, so the Netflix bridge is burnt. Okay, this is what you do. We go to HBO Max. Imagine HBO Overwatch. We can combine the best parts of Overwatch.
No way.
You know, crossover. Look,
wait, I'm seeing where it's going.
Crossover the R34 into HBO. Boom, baby! That's billions of dollars. Billions
However,
of dollars.
I don't think Blizzard would ever allow a show where they're probably gonna see their IP get railed. So I don't think that's gonna. Please, God, no! Please, But me holding the fucking Rule 34 Overwatch character. Don't leave me! Like, so I don't know. I don't think that's probably good. I do think HBO is a good platform though, because that's another platform that's also getting slightly ruined by management. So I feel like that could be like something that's. I think it would be a good area. I mean, any of them, I probably think they could make it work. I think this is all, in many ways, this is ancient history. Like, this is shit that happened, 6 years ago?
Right. They could be, something could be in the works. It reminds me of that
6 years ago was a
Mercy's
long
from a
time.
video game.
Yeah, I like the vibes are on the up. The game is in a good state. You know, Blizzard rebuilding. It's good vibes.
New collabs, bro.
Gotta stay positive. Yeah, My Hero Academia. Let's touch on that quickly. My Hero Academia collab.
Is anybody watching it?
I watch it. People are upset again, bro, about the Ramakra.
Who's upset?
People are upset about the another Reinhardt skin when it should have been Ramakra, apparently.
Also, they don't give you Venture any new skins, so they're pissed because Venture hasn't got any new skins
That
yet.
is a little bit criminal, I would say.
But I mean, I'm gonna assume that is entirely based off the fact that the characters are because they sell the most skins, is my guess.
Well, Kiriko, new face of Overwatch. I would say that's probably the best skin as well, the Toga skin. Toga's pretty cool in the anime. I'm assuming none of you have watched it. Connor hates animation.
I watched a season and a half, maybe 2 seasons. I tried because people said it was like a gateway drug to anime, so I was like, I'll watch it.
It's pretty good. I would say the later halves of getting a little downhill, but no, it's actually it's a fun anime. It's very like wholesome. Yeah, it's the wholesome Chungus Keanu Reeves 100 Reddit anime, I feel like. It's like nothing really bad, like sort of like, you know, characters aren't dying left, right, and center like Attack on Titan or anything, but I think it's pretty good. I like it. I think, yeah, I can understand why people are pissed though, because Ryan has got the last 3 collabs, and Tracer as well. Like, at the same time, if you look at the character models and like how they are as characters, it's like they kind of fit all of the bills, you know? It's like, where else would you really go? Although Bakugo Junkrat would have gone crazy. He has grenades, and Bakugo is a giant grenade, basically. But I mean, they made it for those characters because of the money, you know? So it makes sense. I think it's pretty sweet. They could have done more characters though. The Juno one is perfect as well.
Can I just say Ryan has had 3 collabs in a row now. This, Transformers, and the Lich King one.
Warcraft, yeah.
I think honestly, I don't, because my only like real criticism essentially is like I worried that we're getting too collab pilled and not enough like where's
too
like
quickly.
Yeah, it's more so like I think collabs are good. I like collabs. I enjoy collabs. I think they're doing a great job with them. But like, where's the original content? Like, where's like the content that's not me putting a Deku skin on someone? Like, essentially, like I think they're doing a great job with it. I think it's something that Overwatch needed. It's just maybe we need to create some like other types of content as well.
I kind of
what original content are you looking
original.
for?
I would be. I think for me personally, I would like to see like more like I think they did a really good job. Like it wasn't perfect, but something that was like a really fun thing is like when they do like the Battle of Olympus mode when they made like a whole new game mode with like all these special
they laid off
abilities
that
and
team.
heroes.
The people who made it.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I'm saying like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should be like making things that are interesting and unique, like as these sort of like special game modes and events. Because like I think the core gameplay of Overwatch, the collabs fits into that because Overwatch at its core is like a PvP game. You want to have like this pipeline of like quick play, custom game modes, ranked, etc. But the thing that also helps make Overwatch special is like all the extra events and special moments. I mean, like when Junkenstein first released, Junkenstein was so huge for the original Overwatch because it was so cool when they did it. And that's something that I think Overwatch currently lacks is like this original content piecing. I think the collaborations are great. They're needed. They're done well. But like,
you mean like Mirror Watch? Mirror Watch was kind of like
Mirror Watch people liked.
Yeah,
exactly, and like that's
the
thing I'm like kind of like. But the thing is, I want more like instead of like getting like we're getting collabs. Like how when was the last collab at this point?
Pretty often, like when was it? Transformers was the last one, right? And then we had the Seraphim, which
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
wow.
World
WoW
of
was like
Warcraft,
back to
which was,
back
like-
basically.
that was, like,
and
an
then
IP one,
Transformers.
yeah.
It feels like we're getting them like couple of seasons.
Like I said, this is gut feeling. It just feels like I'm getting a lot of collaborations, and I'm not seeing a lot of original content. You know,
it does feel like the Transformers skins just came out, and I'm like,
and if it's in either or, then like I mean, if it's something like we don't have the bandwidth to do both, then like that's the reality, right? They laid off.
You know what's funny?
This thing, so
what's funny to me is Mirror Watch to me also feels like a collab. It's just a collab between Overwatch and Overwatch.
Sure, but also I'm saying like that's
so
like,
wow.
but the thing is like they need to. That's fine, but also like we just need to explore with a lot of different type of things, right? I think I want to see more exploration, like more type of things, because like Fortnite obviously was like we do all these fucking collabs, but also what they did with the collabs is they did like really cool things. They made original content, they made all this stuff, and like that's something that like right now I think is a little missing in the fact that like the collabs, like we have these great, really well designed skins and like voice lines and like all this stuff associated with it, but we're not getting like an extra oomph. That punch of like, okay, like what's like the original cool thing we're adding on top of that?
I wonder if the reason for that is with these alternate game modes like the Battle for Olympus and whatnot. I wonder if their player numbers just don't reflect them wanting to.
Which is I mean, it could also be that. It could be the player numbers maybe don't reflect.
Exactly. Then you're like, okay, we make these collaboration skins and we have this, and then we have this event. Obviously. The money aspect over here is going to be, you know, rather great, but like the event is not really, I guess the skins in itself like fed into that event, but the collaboration skins money is always going to be up here. The Battle for Olympus skins are going to be down here in terms of like monetary, like how much they made. But the game modes and how much time they put into those, they might not be seeing as much return in terms of like, oh, if we just make this other small thing, like they maybe some people will play it.
Sure,
but if
and
put a lot
I
more
think
time into here, playtime doesn't really end up working out for us. So fuck it, we'll do small things instead of big things.
I thought I read or heard somewhere that the most successful events are like when they remake or like do like PvP stuff, which changes up the usual experience. So that people who play like mystery heroes every day or quick play every day or whatever, they can load up into a mode. Oh yeah, Mirror Watch, for example. You can load into a mode and the abilities are slightly different and like the interactions are different. So it's like, you know, like a different kind of game. Like it's still PvP. You still like typical Overwatch experience. But yeah, hacked. I don't know if the hacked events are popular, but that kind of thing, right? Rather than like the PvE, just like, hey, you get insane abilities and you shoot a boss.
That's what I mean, like by like original content, right? Is like giving like a new. I think the 6 versus 6 thing is going to be a big. You know, that's going to be a massive kind of like influx of players for 6 versus 6 because you know a lot of people return for that one event, right? So I could see them like putting on a big fucking deal because of the influx of players for 6 versus 6 and make it like an event, you know, skins, fucking everything, just.
you know, because that is like an example that is like honestly like the biggest example of changing up the typical Overwatch gameplay loop to bring back people and for people to experience something new. So I mean, for that reason, it's genius because you get such an influx of players. And then, you know, 5 versus 5, 6 versus 6, who cares? You're changing up the game. You're changing up the way people play the game and revitalize some of the, you know, fun that people have in Overwatch, which stands out from your everyday experience, right?
And
so I think that'll be a huge deal.
They'll see retention from that too. Like, people will be playing the 6v6 mode, and then they'll be like, okay, we'll play 5v5 or whatever, like maybe a couple of times, and they'll probably enjoy it. Like, because I don't know about
like
you.
that. You know.
I think a lot of the time, I think right now at the very least, I think the sentiment is the game is actually really fun right now. It's like really, really good. I still fucking hate D.Va, but that's, you know, that's me.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's really fun. It's a solid state. It's a good state, yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah, exactly. I'm curious to see the retention. I would love to. I cannot wait for that 6v6 or 5v5 episode because, man, whoo boy, I got some fucking opinions, bruh. But
I've purposely left you off those episodes because I thought you'd mauled.
Also, hated that shit.
Yeah, he would maul.
No, I do hate that
You
shit.
said
You literally DM'd me. You DM'd me on Discord saying thank you for leaving me off that 6v6 episode.
And thank you, because I would have fucking bored my eyes out with a fucking screwdriver, and I got many in this room. That's a threat.
why do you want to talk about it then? I thought you hated
but when
topic.
the mode comes out, I want to discuss it because I want to play it and see how it feels. I want to like reflect, because I want to reflect on my own opinion about the 6v6 mode. I don't care about the fucking like the game was better here versus now. You know, I want to like reflect on my own opinion rather than like talk to some prick on fucking Plat Chat.
Yeah. I'm really curious to play it as well.
Some prick on Plat Chat. What are you talking about?
I'm really curious to see if, you know, because people always say like, oh, if the current balance team, you know, they were in charge of 6v6, they'd fix it. And I'm like, I'm really curious to see what they do because I think there's some obvious flaws with 6 versus 6. I don't want to kick up that conversation, but I'm curious for when that releases. All right, we're about to wrap up this episode, but before we do, you know, it's 1 year on the day since the Overwatch League had its last day. Florida EMEA and were crowned the last Overwatch League champions.
It is.
It's 1 day, 1 year on the day.
Holy moly!
Someone I've asked on stage.
Bring
Avast was
picture
the
trophy.
Avast was in that sweater. Do you remember? That was the one memory that sticks out to me.
The sweater vest. But yes,
sweater vest.
That was
Avast on the stage with the team when they won, holding the trophy.
I didn't hold the trophy. I never hold the trophy.
No, you were just
I was
hanging
on the
out
stage,
on the
though.
side. It was so
I made
funny.
sure when they were like, "Hey, do you want to lift the trophy?" I was like, "No," because I didn't do anything. Like, I mean, I obviously contributed, but like the competitive staff should be the people that lift the trophy, not like.
Shit was
Like I
gold.
know, like a lot of other people in marketing and social media are like, "I deserve this trophy just as much as everyone else." It's like, no, the fuck you don't. Like you definitely deserve praise. But guess what? Your ass was not on the field winning the games. So, like, you don't really get to lift the trophy. You can definitely be part of the success. It's the game. Without marketing and social media and stuff, like, it wouldn't be a product, but, like, you can win the game.
That
amazing.
Is classic applause.
I just find
What
it a
incredible
little
event.
ironic coming from you because as soon as Florida EMEA won the Pro-Am event, you were the first motherfucker with the neon sign on Twitter. So
What neon sign?
the
Yeah,
neon
that guy.
sign you got from winning the Pro-Am. Don't you remember?
Swing, bro. Swings
All
there
right.
too.
Oh, well, that was you know, that was memes.
Yeah.
Though that was memes.
Yeah, Fearless, Houston Outlaws. I mean, Florida EMEA were so dominant this event, so
It was so
Dude,
That
can you
was-
believe
it
that
was so
right
good.
now we could have been in Toronto right now. We could all be in Toronto around that right now, celebrating, having a good time. The after party went crazy. Our fucking
after party was great.
After party went crazy.
It was
Florida
good.
EMEA, you got table service.
Yep, our competitive
RuPaul was
operations
vibing. It was
just
great
they
to
were
chat
just
with
buying
RuPaul.
like multiple. He bought like 4 or 5 different $1,000 tequila bottles for the or something.
I'm so happy for Ben Spoon. Finally did it after all that investment into the scene.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
Misfits is essentially dead, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw they had a
can't
content creator
believe
leave.
that,
Anyway,
man.
that's not where I want to go with this conversation.
It was the happiest yet saddest day, I think, in Overwatch League.
Yeah, I think there's a word for that in the English
History.
language, but I can't.
I don't
No,
know.
not
Melancholy?
emotional,
Bittersweet.
but
Bittersweet, yeah.
Bittersweet
sure.
is probably the most.
I'm gonna see if I'm gonna
closest.
Google a word real quick and see if this applies.
He's Swedish.
I mean, it's definitely bittersweet. It's definitely bittersweet. There's
Yeah.
no other way it's not going to be bittersweet.
Okay, well, it's not cathartic because that's only positive apparently. So
Yes.
no. But anyway, yes, carry on
yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah, it was a good day.
no, I guess I mean, it's been a year without the Overwatch League, so you know, I don't know if we need to reflect on the year. I think at some point in the future we'll do an episode where like wish list for like next year, things that worked this year, things we didn't like this year. Well, more money. But you know, it's I think we all miss it, but you know, it's
it was amazing. It was amazing. We warned you fucks. We warned you guys what would happen, and here we are. But at the same time, you know, what can you do? What can you do?
That's not bad. I'm gonna cry. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
You know, it's also too because that was the last time I had joy in a job as well. That's the crazy part as well.
Oh my god! Wow,
that is crazy.
Holy shit!
Yeah. It was truly an ending for everybody.
NRG really broke this man. They broke my mans.
They got my ass.
The Coca-Cola company not paying you enough, apparently. Jesus.
The Coca-Cola Corporation. Listen. I'm not happy with them, but I'm gonna keep drinking that garbage. Okay.
I know. I'm always the guy who posts about like, oh, this day in Overwatch. It was like, you know.
I assume you're just farming for Twitter revenue.
Well, yes. Twitter revenue. Do you think I'm freaking get money from that? I get $0 from that.
Well, you got the blue check, so I assume that's why you're doing it.
No, you have to have like 5 million impressions a month to get money.
Yeah, it's crazy amount. But having a blue check allows me to post it in the first place. So, you know, without a blue check, I couldn't have posted this video. So, there you go.
It's 5 minutes. Wow.
Because otherwise it's 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
Fuck that website. I don't give a shit about it anymore.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to see the cocaine discourse versus Coke Zero.
Well, you know, I like posting this stuff sometimes because other people, you know, they reminisce and they think back.
Johnny, honestly. Good for you.
And also, I like history. I like preserving the Overwatch history. We had a wealth of Overwatch history in the past. I like celebrating players of the past, legends of the past. You know, and so looking back at some of these memories, you know, we get to see all of them. Pine, you know, Pelican had his thing on Hanzo, Poke Bombs, Legion Tower, Moth, like all of these, you know, I like remembering all the achievements of the past and all these great players who, even though you can look back and meme about it, and you'll be like, oh, you know, if they played, you know, the 2024 Falcons, they get dominated. Like, who gives a fuck, dude? Like, they played the best they could in their time. They made the most of their time with the current meta, with the state of the game, and their career. And they fucking put the hours in. They put the fucking hours in. They worked their fucking asses off. They dedicated their life to it. And they became the best player they could be with the best team they possibly could. And this is, you know, the outcome of that. These are the highlights of that. These are the tournament runs. These are the victories. And so I fucking respect it. Yes, would Prophet fucking be as good as Proper in 24 Hour War? I don't know. But Prophet was a legend for his time. He was a legend for several days. Several
days. He was a legend for several days.
Vancouver Titans.
Many hours, yeah.
Janu bombs fled on the Widowmaker. Like, these are just amazing moments in time. So yeah, I like remembering these. I like giving credit to the players for, you know, providing these moments for us. Even though, you know, some of them, even like fucking 2016, I know I'm a 2016 head. I know I suck at this game. I don't give a fuck, bro. We fucking dominated, you know, the first year. And, you know, credit to all the fucking Envious, Chip Cyan, Taimu, you know, all these guys. Honestly, high Miro, Regihong, the triple, McRavy, 6K. So I like thinking back about that stuff. But at some point, I feel like, anyway, I've started a therapy port now. Shy popping off. At some point, maybe I should move on. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
That Sojin game was fucking sick. No, good for you for preserving history, Johnny. I am like you. I like to preserve history.
I did
Wayback Machine the entire website before it got shut down, so I'm with you there.
Yeah, you've had a good year to mourn. I think after post the year, though.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, should I fucking move on with my life?
No, don't move on. Never move on. Please. Don't.
I think you can remember it fondly, but everyone always gets 1 year to mourn about something you loved, and then after that, you can still love it. You can still mourn it in private, but you can't be cringe about it anymore.
It's cold hard reality.
And this next year is about to be the 1 year that I've asked us to mourn NRG. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true, actually. Yeah.
True.
That's true.
True. Because I'll have plenty of time because I'll be unemployed. So this will be good.
Dragon stay at the Bristol Arena.
I'm just saying. You come round my house, we co-op stream from my sofa, and we play old PS2 games.
That sounds pretty good, honestly. That could work.
It could go crazy.
Well, is there anything else that we need to talk about?
We need to talk about going for pizza as well.
No.
Bren's play of the week.
Do you want to do OWCSLE real quick, or do you not care?
Why not?
OWCS what?
The
OWCSL.
the Worlds, the OWCS
The
Worlds,
OWCS
the
Worlds.
Worlds.
I mean, we can
Alright,
try. Fuck
OWCS.
it, let's go.
I don't know.
Seeker.
Seeker.
Why are you picking Seeker again? I would have gone an Astro, but fine, that's fine.
Oh,
Okay,
DPS.
North
that's
America
an A,
DPS.
Probably an American.
PG.
Not Canadian.
PG.
PG.
Yeah, I mean,
PG.
PG is a pretty easy one.
Oh,
Shot.
Oh, he's on
Whoa.
NRG.
Scissors.
I mean, it's
Scissors
scissors
or tree?
It's scissors. It's scissors or tree. There
Hey.
you go. Wow, there you go.
Wow,
Good
dominated
work.
that one
Good
actually.
own
That was
that
crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
Damn,
Clean.
son.
Okay, okay, this one's broken though, I swear. Okay, Twilight.
I like that one. I like that one.
This
I like
is the
it.
last year, by the way, right?
Oh,
So
Korean and played in the West. Not on Boston, not a support.
That's very broad.
Pelican.
Yeah, do a Pelican.
Pelican.
Do a
Pelican,
Pelican.
yeah,
Do a
fuck it.
Pelican.
Oh my god.
Okay, so yeah, happy.
Happy.
Yeah, happy. Yeah, gotta be happy.
Hey!
There you go. Yeah!
Three.
Insane
Wow.
guess.
Wait,
Insane
we went
guess.
crazy with that one.
Wow.
All right,
Wow,
Brain's
Avril,
play
you-
of the week. Let's
With
let's
this
not
way
do
better
20
with-
of these.
Yeah. Do you want to do the New York Times crossword? Never mind.
I've already done it.
All right, Brent's Play of the Week. I'll say this. Today is Matt Morello's birthday. It's Mr. X's birthday.
Oh,
If we go on Liquipedia Overwatch, go to Liquipedia Overwatch real quick, Solomon.
Pull up Matt Morello's birthday.
I think Jack's gonna veto. Jack's gonna veto this one. Jack will veto this one for sure.
Joss knows this already, but if you look at Mr. X's Matt Merck, okay, it's not Matt,
Matt
Merck.
That's him. That's him.
Yeah. Matt is not on there apparently, but sorry for me.
Wait, what the
Oh,
fuck?
dude, Matt's only 21.
Someone
Wow.
finally deleted his
Wait,
profile.
Wait, we got rid of him. We've gotten rid of Mr. X. We've done it. We've gotten rid of Mr. X.
Look at this born. October
Okay,
1st,
he
1994,
is
age
not
30.
Wait, I was going to
That
say,
makes
is
me
Matt?
older
There's
than
no
him.
way. Wait,
No,
there
he's
can't
not
be.
30.
Is Matt 30 years old?
No. He's
Really?
like 34 or 35 or some shit.
I think it was born in, I could be wrong, but I think it was born in 88, so...
I was
That
going to
would
say,
make him
God damn, Matt. I didn't think you were
36.
30 years. I wasn't familiar with your game, Matt. I didn't know.
This guy, this
I didn't know
this
he
guy
was-
was a Call of Duty 1 professional. He must be like 40 years old.
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, like, if he played Call of Duty 1 professionally, like, he has to be close to mid 30s. There's no way he's 30.
I
That's how it was.
lied about that.
Because
but
he's older
I'm
than me.
exaggerating.
No,
I'm
but I mean, like,
exaggerating.
essentially, you're right, though. Essentially, you're right.
He's like
Because the only
34.
people that play Call of Duty
Or
professionally at this point
35.
are mid 30s.
No, I'm telling you, I think he turned 36 today. So
Well,
it's Matt's
it is his
birthday.
birthday, yes, but
Ah,
that
It
is
is
the
Matt's
wrong
birthday. Matt,
But-
I know you're not here, but, you know, if you're not 30 years
Hey,
old. You're
Brent's Play of the Week.
Matt, if you can hear me.
Matt, if you can.
I was gonna give it to Matt.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Lips
You made our lives
doppelganger.
brighter.
Any actual
Oh,
player?
No, Hongdae Lip, please. Please. We got Hongdae Lip, please. The GOAT.
Also, you know what we didn't talk
Hongdae
about at all?
Lip.
We didn't talk about Li Gong's retirement, by the way.
Oh, fuck.
DJ
you
Gon,
gave me
DJ
John.
Gon is Brain's
That's
Pro of the
Literally
Week.
yeah,
didn't
DJ
talk
Gon,
about Li
DJ
Gong's
Gon.
retirement. He's probably
DJ Gon is Brain's Pro of the Week. There it is.
Fuck Matt.
Done.
Fuck Matt. It probably
Fuck
should
Matt.
be Li
Thank you.
Gon.
DJ Gon
Because,
for
like-
being one of the greatest to ever do it. That's Play of the Week. His send
Bro-
off is Brain's Play of the Week.
Also, bro had one of the hardest of all time Lucio like images ever occur when he like
Oh,
beats
when he's
directly
like-
in front of the
yeah.
Orisa. Like, bro,
Oh, which
Lijigon, definite legend. Definite legend.
Can
Very
you
good
imagine
player.
if we got to see a Legion on the Violet backline? That would have been insane.
Would have been the most. It would have been the highest
highest
minutes per
int
death.
percent.
Or death
yeah,
per minute.
highest death per minute. Yeah, exactly.
highest death per
Holy
minute
fuck.
backline you ever would have seen, but they would have dominated. They would have dominated.
That
for
would have
sure,
made it
though.
work.
Their highs
So-
would have been so high and their lows would have been unbelievable.
Like they would
Yeah.
probably just like win a team fight themselves. They would just like kill like 4 or 5 people, but then they would die like 3 times in a row. Probably Ajax.
Amazing. Well, yeah,
Legendary
Legion
player.
Very
Best
good
Player of
player.
the Week.
Very good player. He had a good career. Had a great career too.
Yeah,
Fantastic
he
career.
did, yeah.
So he's
Got a map
earned the
named after him.
retirement.
This
True.
is crazy.
Yeah, there we go. All right, one of the best Lucio players of all time.
Yeah.
Retired, sadly.
One of the best main support players too, in general. Just
Yeah.
also, not even just Lucio. Guy was one of those players that really
Very good
was
player.
flexible across the main support role. It didn't just only play Lucio. Great Mercy player, great Brigida player. Like actually a very, very good player just overall.
Yeah. Well, that does it for Plat Chat Overwatch episode 241. Avril's going to go outside, explore and stream. We can't raid you, Avril. Or sorry. But
No worries.
I've asked and Jaws. I'll keep
Yeah.
you up to date on pizza plans.
Oh yeah, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
they
man.
have people coming in town this week. We have to talk. The goal was to potentially do it, but then I realized I had people coming in town this
But
week.
we
so
got
like, now I have to figure out-
just bring everybody, bro.
Yeah, just bring everyone. Just everyone do it at once.
All right. Maybe not sometime in November. All right.
What?
We'll chat.
Dude,
All right.
Fuck this
Keep
guy.
track. All right. Okay. I would have done it next week, but next week we got the actual playoffs.
It's still
So,
possible, but
You know, it's still possible.
All right,
It's
we'll
still-
sort it
it's still
out. Make
possible.
sure someone
we'll
sorts
sort
it
it
out.
out. Thank you for watching another episode of Plat Chat. Shout out to Solomon, who of course produced this episode.
Of course.
And we'll see you next time on Plat Chat. Take care, everybody.